everybody, and welcome to a very special that we have planned for all of you tonight on this wonderful Friday. We are so excited that you are joining us here for what we have dubbed the Fatales Game of the Month special. My name is Lana Ruse, and I am so excited to tell you a little bit more about this very fun event. So if you don't know, the Frame Fatales community, which is our women and femme side of Games Done Quick, puts on some incredible events year-round like Frost Fatales, Flame Fatales. You may have been there for some of them, and if you were there for Fright Fatales, you may have seen a familiar face. Also, one thing that the Fatales Discord does is that we host a Game of the Month, where every couple of months we vote on a new game that will be the speed game of the community for that time. So we have game guides, they teach us about the game, we can all do runs together, submit them, or just play casually for fun, and it is a wonderful time. So tonight, we will be featuring 4 of the most recent games of the month that have taken place in the Fatales Discord, and I am so excited that you are here with us to see all of those wonderful games. Now, before we get started, we have just a couple of announcements that we want to run through. Very exciting news, the GDQ 2025 schedule is now out. Can you believe it? I've been excited about it. I hope you're excited about it too. So make sure to go to gamesdonequick.com/schedule to check it out and let us know what you're most excited to see. Can't wait to see you there, whether you're joining us in person or virtually. So as promised, we have many exciting games that were games of the month, and we are starting with our current game of the month that is live now in the Fatales Discord that we have all been learning. Here to show us a Plants vs. Zombies day-night run, I am very excited to introduce you to my good friend, Satan herself. How you doing, Satan?
Oh my gosh, Lana, I'm doing incredible. Hello, everybody. My name is Satan herself, or Satan Isn't Herself on Twitch, and that is right, I'm going to be running Plants vs. Zombies day through night. So day through night doesn't sound like a standard category name, and it's not. Essentially, we're just going to be running through the first 2 worlds, day and then night, and then we're going to be stopping there. And that actually does change a little bit of the mechanics that we would do as opposed to running, say, an any percent run. I'll explain that as we get into it. Also, if you're wondering, Plants vs. Zombies, how do you even speedrun that? It seems like it might be kind of like close to an auto-scroller. That is where you are dead wrong. That's my favorite line in this game. This game actually has a really important mechanic called the 50% rule that I'll be explaining in the first level that makes it not only speedrun viable, but one of the most interesting speedruns, just period. And yes, this is the current game of the month, so I'll definitely be explaining a lot, trying to help everybody understand how to play this run. I think this run is super accessible for first-time players. It's one of the things I would recommend diving into and getting started with. So, yeah, super exciting. We've got our faith file name here, which Lana picked before the run, so thank you for that. Also, the timer does not start on Start Adventure. It starts when we place down our first pea shooter, so I will call that out. Do not worry about it yet. So let's get into it. Dun, dun. Also, I am solo commentating today, so get used to my voice. But also, if anybody has any questions, this is a really, really good opportunity to ask them. This game is super technical. It has a ton of little notes here and there. So if you see something and you're curious, please go ahead and talk about it in chat. So first we have 1-1 here, and 1-1, unfortunately, is the only completely RNG-based level in the entire game. The only way we can go faster is if the zombies spawn faster and they go in the right position. So we just have to see what time we get. We're going to be placing 3 tree shooters in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, the 6th, 8th, and 7th column. And that's because the peas do land on the zombies if they're closer to them a little bit quicker. However, the rate of fire doesn't change. So it's really just that last pea is going to get there quicker. And now I'm going to explain the 50% rule. This is really, really important if you want to understand the run. Definitely listen to the next 30 seconds and then you can just keep watching. The 50% rule essentially states that for every collection of zombies that spawns, so this would be a wave. A collection of zombies is a wave. If you do 50% or more of the damage in that wave, the next wave is going to spawn. In other words, the faster that you kill zombies, the faster new zombies show up. So it's all about kind of finding the fastest way to get to that 50% damage threshold, and then doing it again, and again, and again, and again. There are exceptions to that. There are two notable exceptions. The first is the final wave, where you just saw we have to kill all the zombies on screen, or else they would walk into our house. We don't want that. The second exception is every wave before the big wave, we have to kill every zombie specifically from that wave. So I'll kind of point that out in this level 1-2 here. 1-2 is going to play a little bit differently from the rest of our day levels. In the rest of our day levels, we're actually going to let a zombie go all the way to these mowers in the back here. But for 1-2, we're not going to do that. For 1-2, we're just going to react to zombies and click pea shooters where they and place down pea shooters where they show up. It's just a little bit faster that way, we've kind of found. And yes, this game is very RNG heavy. We are not going to know where the zombies are going to spawn until they spawn. We aren't going to be able to know when the sun is going to drop necessarily to get us enough sun to do our things. And we're just going to have to do our best reacting. However, there's a lot of ways we can kind of predict RNG and mitigate RNG throughout the run. It's very, very strategic, very technical. So first of all, zombies spawning. So actually, zombies don't like to do the same thing twice. Basically, they don't like to spawn where they spawned recently. They pick a row and then they pick a different row. They say, this row's boring, we don't want to be here. So this is a really good example. You can see that that zombie was in the middle, and then the other zombie said, I don't want to join up with that guy. Let's split up and go on to the top and bottom row. So you can kind of predict where zombies are going to be a little bit using that mechanic. And we're going to be doing that for sure here in these early levels, because it's really easy to sort of like keep track of everything in 1-2 and 1-3 where we only have 3 rows. Huge wave. So as you can see there, those 2 zombies before the huge wave, we had to wait until they were fully dead in order to go ahead and move on to the final wave. This was actually a very fast one too, so we'll see how the final wave goes. It's looking pretty good. And of course, we're going to just bolster the row that has more zombies quicker. And then we're going to want to click the seed packet as soon as it comes up to mitigate any time loss. And then we're off. All right, 1-3, we're going to start playing a little bit more like we do other levels, but it's going to start looking less and less casual from here on out. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put my sunflowers in a big line like before. I'm actually going to put them in this vertical row in the back. And that does sound pretty casual, but that's because we're going to just let the first zombie go all the way to these mowers in the back. The mowers are sort of like intended emergency buttons, so to speak, for the game, because they kill every zombie in a row. And there's an additional hidden mechanic that the game does not tell you about with them, which is that it also forces zombies away from said row for 2 more waves afterwards. So essentially the game's saying, this row is weak. You need a little bit more time to build it back up. We'll go ahead and move the zombies away. We call that mower manip, or mower manipulation. So we're going to be able to use that to our advantage as well, as just getting more time to get more sun for the things that we're going to need later in the level. Especially for this one, it introduces the cherry bomb, which is a little bit more expensive than the pea shooter, but is what we call an instant plant, which is super, super important for the rest of the run. Instant plants go ahead and kill a zombie just in one shot. And that will make it so that those 50% rolls get activated way faster. We want to focus them on higher health zombies because they are more of the health of the wave. Also, this zombie you might see change its speed. After a zombie eats a plant, they actually change speed every single time. Fun fact. It's not even eat, just biting it does it too. So we went ahead and got a cone head kill on that wave 4. I'm going to do a cherry bomb on this wave 5. Because I am anticipating that we're going to have a wave 7 with a cone head on bottom because nobody's been spawning there. So the game is like, you had enough time to build up. Oh, no. See, that's normal.
Surprise!
And by that, I mean it's not normal. I've never seen this spawn one time, ever. Cool. GDQ magic. Everybody, I'm gonna have to try to stall this guy desperately. Oh my, I've never seen this before. Well, good thing we used the cherry bomb because now we have time to get it back. I can explain kind of why that's important. So cherry bomb has a 3x3 explosion radius, meaning that we're gonna be able to kill every single zombie in the final wave with it. So we actually kind of call it a limiting factor because if the cherry bomb is still coming off of its cooldown, which is basically the time that we need to be able to wait to replant it after we planted it last, then we don't get to finish the level. It's our limiting factor until it's done doing that. Wow, that was a spawn. Never
Made
seen
it.
that before.
My gosh.
It was
Needed a little
okay,
more
but
stress
wow.
in your day.
Well, here we go. Speaking of, it's 1-4. This is one of my least favorite levels because it's ramping up the complexity without ramping up a ton of tools for you to be able to deal with that. So we got Walnut here, and Walnut is nice because it lets us stall zombies. But what we're really going to want to do with it, instead of planting it near the front, we're actually going to want to plant it in the back. We're going to want to send zombies all the way to the back and then stall them with a walnut until we want them to go to the mower and kill the zombies at the front. But unfortunately, we don't have our trusty shovel yet. Dave is going to give that to us after this level. So we can't let them go when we want to. We just have to wait for the zombies to eat through the walnuts. So we're going to just have to try to time it right and get lucky. Another thing we're going to have to deal with is this level's actually going to have more cone heads than average. The reason I know that is because at the beginning of the level, you could see it flashed a bunch of zombies on the right side of the screen. You might think that doesn't matter. It actually does. It tells you a little bit about the ratio of zombies that you're going to get during the level. So we had 3 cone heads, which is more cone heads than average. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. All right, I waited to see whether the next zombie was going to spawn on bottom to plant that walnut. It didn't, so we're all good. Whew. Yeah, this game has a lot to talk about. I'll be pointing out things as they come up and talking about more mechanics as they're relevant. But those are kind of the basic things. Every level, almost, we're either going to introduce a new plant or we're going to introduce a new gimmick. So almost every level, you're going to see something new and interesting, which is one reason why I really love this run, is it just evolves and changes through the whole time. Let's see if we get lucky and get a bottom spawn. Nope, that's okay. Sometimes you just try to do stuff like that and it doesn't quite work out. But we do know that no zombies are going to be in the bottom row anymore. So we can kind of focus our effort and attention on these top rows, which is nice. I'm going to even pre-plant a pea shooter there when I don't need to, because the pea shooter needs some time to come back after you plant it. You might see this and go, wait, Satan, that pea shooter's way too close to that zombie. Why did you put it there? The reason I put it there was because I'm going to try to get a little bit of damage on this conehead, and then the conehead's going to eat through the pea shooter, which is actually something I want. So the pea shooter's, the conehead's now going to go all the way to the mower, which should help us later. Now we are on strategy already. I know, it's like such a complex game. It's really cool. Oh no, unlucky conehead spawn. So we have an unfortunate conehead spawn here. I'm actually going to take the risk of doing the cherry bomb there, because we're going to get a free row here from this conehead, and we already have a lot of pea shooters top, so I'm just going to hope that that's going to work out okay. We would have needed to kill that conehead entirely in order to move on, and that would have taken a lot of time. Oh, unlucky. We got some bad spawns on bottom. That's okay. We will just have to wait for our cherry bomb to come back. That was unlucky. Sometimes you run into these situations. Luckily, if you're running this game, these are the first 4 levels, and these are the most random of the entire run. So you can just reset if you get an unlucky 1-4 like this, and you don't have to worry too much about it. Boop.
We did have a question in chat for you here, Satan.
Yes.
We have someone asking if you have a personal favorite plant or a favorite speedrun plant.
Oh, yes, both true. I think the personal favorite is actually the same for it now, now that I've been speedrunning this game for a long time. And we're going to see that plant soon, actually. Luckily, we do get to see it in this run. It is the Chomper. Chomper, I think, is one of those plants that is really iconic, but maybe a little bit underrated in casual play. But in speedrunning, it's really, really good because it's one of those instant kills we were discussing, but it comes back really quickly. It has a really short cooldown, so you get to use it again and again without having to wait too long, like we had to do for that cherry bomb. So, and I just think it has a lot of personality. It's really fun to look at. Purple's my favorite color, so, you know, I'm a sucker for purple plants.
Hey, same.
And I think purple plants are the best, so, hey.
I'm with you on that.
Purple, let's go. That's awesome. Also, welcome to Walnut Bowling. It's Walnut Bowling. We have 5 Explodonuts. We don't normally have 5 Explodonuts, so I'm going to do this with that. Explodonuts are essentially like little cherry bombs, as you could see. We want to let zombies sort of go to the mowers to be able to do that mower manipulation into the final wave so that we can kill it with 1 Explodonut. And we're going to be able to do that beautifully here, because we got a lot of them. Sometimes you only get 1 Explodonut in one of these levels, or none. So this is really, really good RNG. One of our top speedrunners guest is reacting in the chat to this. I'm sorry, guest. I know. I just have to get it for the marathon. It's gotta happen, you know? All right. Also, I'm doing something that I'm not talking about. Between levels, I'm actually holding down the space bar to skip a little cutscene that shows you the new plant that you just unlocked. So if you're wondering where that little description went, that's where it went. I can also hold down space to skip Dave text. So when Dave is talking to you, you can go ahead and hold that down and do that. So little speedrun things here and there that just become second nature, of course, to us runners, but wanna make sure y'all know about it. All right, now we have 2 of my favorite tools in the run. The shovel, as I mentioned before, is very important for being able to sort of manipulate where zombies are going in the way you want to. And the mine. So the mine is the cheapest instant plant in the whole game. It only costs 25 sun, really easy to put down, but it takes a little while to arm. You can see it just came out of the ground there, and now it's ready to instantly kill a tile of zombies. The way you can tell that it's going to arm, by the way, there's a little trick that we use. You can watch the mine's cooldown, and I'll show y'all that the next time it happens. And when it gets to about halfway up the seed packet, then the mine's going to come up. So you can already tell what's going to happen. We use that as speedrunners, of course, to know, that mine's totally going to make it for that zombie. I don't need to put any damage on them. Or, uh-oh, that mine's not going to make it. We need to come up with a backup plan. And yeah, mines are really, really great because they're low economy ways to kill really high health zombies. They're just awesome. Here I'm going to purposely dig up that pea shooter so that I can let the zombie go to the mower. It's often nice to plant a mine right after another mine explodes. Sometimes you don't get lucky. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take that opportunity to get a cherry bomb down. Not the smartest idea in the world because we got a vaulter right after, and I actually knew that was going to happen. I just forgot. So vaulters are introduced in this level. They vault over a single plant. And of course they're introduced with mines because you're kind of supposed to plant mines and have the vaulters jump over the mines so that they don't actually interfere with the mines. We do that when we can, but sometimes it doesn't work. All right, here I'm going to take the help on this wave 7. You can also tell when wave 7 or 4 has arrived. This is really nitpicky, but I do think it's really important and cool to know. By counting the wave's wave points. So only wave 7 can start spawning a conehead and a normal zombie, or 3 normal zombies. No wave before it can do that. And wave 4 is the only wave that can start spawning coneheads, or 2 normal zombies. If you see that, then you know you're at wave 4 or beyond. So you can kind of track things like that to make it easier for yourself. Here, unfortunately, we had so many zombies spawning in row 2 for no reason, so we had to go ahead and shoot them all. We also have mines on the top and bottom, so hopefully that'll take care of us there. Mines can explode more than 1 zombie. They explode a tile, not just one of them. So that is useful.
I'm just amazed by how much knowledge you can keep in your head all at once, honestly, where it's like, it's kind of, there's so many, like, if this happens, then this. If this doesn't happen, then this kind of sequences, and I love it. It's so much knowledge.
Thank you. I mean, that's this game, and that's why I think it's just such a brilliant speedrun. I think it's like, it's just so elegant how it all kind of comes together at the end of the day. I'm sounding like my partners who are in a math PhD right now. But it really is, like, everything just kind of, like, follows from each other, and it's very, like, mathematical, but it's also random, and you have to deal with, like, weird situations that come up, and it's really cool. I love this game. Speaking of, like, loving this game and thinking it's really good, I do have this game in as a backup run for GDQ, and this run specifically as well. Of course, backup runs are the way they are, so we have no idea if it's going to get ran, but that's pretty awesome. I'm also going to be running Peggle Extreme the 100% category at GDQ. That's already on schedule, so very pumped for that. PopCap, hooray! I love PopCap. One of my favorite nostalgic developers. I'm sure a lot of other people in chat have really good memories with a PopCap game, whether it's Peggle, PVZ, or one of the other ones, Chuzzle, Zuma, you know, you name it. I love running these games. I think they're so cool. We're here in 1.7. 1.7 introduces two things. The first is the Snow Pea, which we only take because we don't have a choice not to. That's not true. Snow Pea will help us by evading pea shooter cooldown. So basically, like when the pea shooter is not ready to be placed down again, if we have enough sun, we'll place a Snow Pea instead. And that does help. But it's not the most efficient plant at actually getting stuff done, because it does the exact same damage as a pea shooter, but for way more sun cost. So, you know, we generally don't use it too much. The second thing that 1.7 is going to introduce that's very important is that it's our first 3-flag level. So what that means, or 2-flag, sorry. What that means is we're going to have one big wave in the middle of the level, and then we're going to have another big wave at the end of the level. The big wave in the middle of the level does not act like the final wave. You can still... Sorry, trying to deal with too many things. You can still leave zombies alive from it and then move on to the next wave. But it still is a lot of zombies at once. So you have to figure out how you're going to deal with that. Yep, there's a lot of coneheads to shoot and a lot of vaulters to shoot, so I'm just kind of focusing on getting up pea shooters while still going as fast as possible. Let's see, is this wave 9? I don't believe it is, but we'll still wait for the conehead to get to the mine, because I think that's fine. Maybe it was. Ah, very nice. See, that's kind of how you want to deal with a wave 9, is killing the higher health zombie with an instant plant like a mine, and then letting the other zombie be shot. That's a good way to deal with it. You can also use a cherry bomb, but I'm going to use it in this big wave instead, which is nice, because we can get some cleanup. We can also now see an example of letting that zombie go when I wanted to, let it go, instead of just having to have the other zombie, or the zombie eat through it at the right time. I also did purposely place down a Snow Pea back here so that this vaulter is not going to eat through too many sunflowers, since it did get the opportunity to jump. Good job, Vaulter.
Yeah, so speedy.
You fulfilled your destiny.
I found the real speedrunner. It's the Vaulter.
It's the Vaulter. It's true. I call this level the Winter Olympics. You can see why. It's Vaulters, but they're snowy. They're frozen. They're in the wintertime, just like we are. Just like Frost Fatales is going to be in a couple months.
Whoop, whoop.
Well, not just a couple, but, you know, still looking forward to it. So exciting.
Yeah, that's a good time to plug. It's not my official announcement, but we'll go off the cuff, is that we actually do have game submissions will be opening up, I believe, in a week or so at this point now.
Yeah,
and
very
other
close.
volunteer submissions and stuff will be opening up soon. So again, if you are a woman or a femme in the gaming community and you'd like to join the Discord as well, please message the account on Twitter. I believe on Instagram works as well. You can also check out the gamesdonequick.com website. It does have a section for Frame Fatales where you can learn a little bit more about it. But now is a really good time to get involved if you're thinking about it, because yeah, run submissions are coming, volunteer submissions are coming, and we'd love to see all of you there for sure.
Absolutely. I love the Fatales community. Every event is super, super special. I've volunteered for several now and ran at several now. You do not have to be scared. We don't bite. Please come and volunteer with us, hang out with us, submit runs. We have such a good time all on stream together. It's awesome. All right, huge wave. So this is the final wave. So as a reminder, we have to kill all the zombies on the final wave. So we're going to be focusing on that. Flag zombie. The flag zombie is targeting our mines, which is very annoying. The flag zombie moves way faster than other zombies do. So if a flag zombie is on the same row as the mine, it's likely going to either activate the mine too early or even eat it before you want it to. So annoying. But also here's our favorite friend, the Chomper, as I was talking about before. Oh, I love Chomper. So we're going to select everything that isn't Snow Pea here. Sorry, Snow Pea. My favorite scene select, because it's the most, like, I'm sorry, you're not relevant to this level. Seed select.
Get wrecked.
Exactly. I was trying to be nicer about it, but Lana's saying real thing. It's okay. I think we're okay. We're not hurting Snoopy's feelings. I think Snoopy's okay. But 1-8 is different. It's going to look different and play differently than the other day levels because we have a new zombie type introduced in this one called the Buckethead. We're going to see our first Buckethead in Wave 6, guaranteed, and then we're going to see some more potentially in the rest of the run, and certainly one in the final wave. Bucketheads have more than twice the health of Coneheads. They are very, very, very tough. That means we absolutely must defeat them with instant plants. We cannot shoot them to death. That's why we are making this little sunflower line in the middle here, because what I'm going to try to do is let a bunch of zombies go to the mower so that we can get free kills from the mower, instead of having to worry about paying for a bunch of choppers. Because even though choppers have a really slow, fast cooldown, and that makes it great to use them over and over again when you have a bunch of sun, if you don't have a bunch of sun, then that's not super helpful. So here I'm waiting till we get those zombies sort of half dead to get that 50% roll to get these zombies onto the screen. It's a really good example, honestly, of it. You can really see it in action there. You know, if you just specifically wait for that, like, half health, then more spawns. All right, we have our first Buckethead guaranteed here. Where is it going to go? Great. Place where we can go ahead and let him over get to it.
Honestly, you do deserve some good spawns after some of the chaos from earlier.
I do.
You deserve this win.
Especially that cone and normal on 1-3. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
1-3 loves to do that, though, so I'm not, like, too surprised.
I'm so glad we got our This Has Never Happened Before within the first 5 minutes. Like, our quota's been met.
I wasn't expecting any This Has Never Happened Before, but we got it.
Heck yeah.
It's all good. All right, here we gotta just wait for 2 choppers. Oh well. To do our wave 9, but that's not a big deal. Got it. And now we're gonna just have to see how the final wave spawns and whether we can use a cherry bomb to clean everything up or whether we need to pay for some more stuff and wait for some sun. That's why it's a strange level, is because you need to plant a lot of stuff that costs a lot. So you really want to try to kill zombies with things that aren't so high cost. Luckily here we got a great mine, which let us go ahead and just kill a normal zombie with a chopper and put down a cherry bomb. Good level. I'd say that's the best level we've had so far. Probably.
Woo! We love those.
And then, exactly. 1-9. Let's hope we can beat it with 1-9, especially with that preview. We have a 1-cone preview here, so as I was saying before, those zombies on the right side of your screen, they actually matter. We only saw 1 cone head in that group, which means we're going to have not a lot of cone heads, which is really nice, because cone heads can be slow if you're in a level with Repeater. Repeater is our new plant. It's our last new plant out of day. It costs double a pea shooter, but it shoots twice as fast, and it's actually more efficient than Repeater to use for us. So we are going to be taking it instead of pea shooter, not Repeater. That's a pool plant. But since it costs double, we're going to let 2 zombies go to the mower at the beginning of the level. So luckily, we did not get a zombie spawn in the middle. If we had, that would have been very annoying. But this zombie is going to just go ahead and walk to the mower. And I'm going to put 1 sunflower down in every other row so we can just let whatever the next one is go. Nice. All right. And now we know. So yeah, every level kind of changes the setup just a little bit in Day, which I appreciate. I think it's a fun little sort of like, what do we do for this situation? What do we do for that situation? Sort of thing. And now you can see we're well on our way to being able to afford a repeater, which is great, because the more repeaters we get down, the faster we're going to go. And because we know we're not going to get a lot of cone heads, we're going to want to be prioritizing repeaters, actually, because they're going to be able to deal with normal zombies a lot faster. I'm going to wait for this zombie to go past this tile. You don't ever want to place repeaters ever further forward than the 5th column, because then they can't kill a cone head by themselves. And that's not good. We want to empower them to be able to do cool stuff. And in fact, further back is even better. Here, I'm going to try to save this mine's life. We did get to do that. But we did not get to stall the zombie off top, unfortunately. That's okay.
Thank goodness for mowers. They seem like really good options to have when things get a little
Oh yeah,
sketchy.
for sure. And you know what? I'm gonna let this Volter... Yeah, we're gonna have to kill it with the cherry bomb, unfortunately. We had a Volter spawn when we had no sun, so we couldn't really do much about it. Had to wait for a little bit. It's all good. No big deal. But yeah, mowers are great. Mowers are a great lifeline. They help in tough situations, and they help you go faster if you can use them to your advantage. We are going to be seeing less of them used in night, because in nighttime, mowers start paying off for you, literally. Every mower that you keep alive at the end of the run, or the end of the level, gives you $50. And we do have something important we need to buy in level 2-4. So for the first 3 levels, we're not going to be going as ham on mowers as we have been so far. But that's only the first 3 levels, then we can go after that. And that's the main difference between day through night and any percent, by the way. In any percent, you need a lot of money to buy a lot of important things. In the roof section of the run especially, which is the last part. But in this run, you don't need that. You just need to buy the seed slot from Dave in 2-4, and then you're good. So... we are just going to be doing that, and then we don't have to worry about it after that. There's nothing else we can really purchase, unless we get a bunch of diamonds, which are the game's sort of like big money drop. Also, this is when we're going to start to be seeing chompers used as targets to high health zombies. We're going to need to use them against bucket heads and cone heads in this level. Fun fact, chompers eat faster if they have something directly in front of them. So that column 8 chomper actually would have taken longer to eat that buckethead if it didn't have a plant in front of it.
Ooh, okay.
It's kind of the game's sneaky way of encouraging the casual, popular strat of chomper walnut. It like feels better to do. So, you know, you do it more. That's sort of the ethos of PvZ in general, I think, and why the 50% rule exists and works so well is just like, yeah, it's a great self-balancing mechanic, right? If you are going really fast and killing a bunch of zombies, then the game's like, all right, you're doing great. We can, you know, send more zombies your way. If you are struggling, then the game doesn't have to spawn waves as quickly. You can take more time to slow down and use slower strats. So no matter what kind of way you're playing, the game is ready for you. It's a really, really cool sort of like balancing solution. Oh, that mine just came up. That was so good. Woo.
Close call.
That was close. Yeah. We're going to try to make a cherry bomb reach really far here. Oh, the Volter just got away, but that's okay. No worries.
Still got chopped.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to go into a level that's going to look a little different now. Welcome to 1-10. This is our first true conveyor belt level. We're going to have another one after this as well. So the mechanics will be relevant for both. The reason I say true is because we did technically have a level with a conveyor in it, which was walnut bowling. But the reason that it's not a true conveyor belt level is that it doesn't work the same way. So in 1-10 here, we're going to be able to use something called conveyor manipulation, which means that for the plants that we have on the belt, the game is going to see us pile a bunch of them on the belt and then say, oh, you don't want that plant. You're not using that plant. We won't give you many more of that. I disagree with some other top runners about how much matters for the manipulation. I don't think we've figured it out yet, but it's either 2 or 3 of the same plant matter for that. Guest is in chat and may be able to clarify that for me, maybe. But yeah, so essentially we're going to look at this belt and say we don't want walnuts as much, we don't want potato mines as much, so we're going to try to use them pretty minimally, and try to use cherry bombs as soon as we see them, so that the game doesn't think that we don't want cherry bombs, because cherry bombs are the fastest plant. Of course. We'll use mines every once in a while, though, because they are instant plants, which is obviously fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2-10 works similarly, but we have a much more obvious pick in that level for which plant that we need to just keep on the belt and never worry about. You'll see. It's wave 9 here. I love this game's sound design. I love that sound that happens when a huge wave of zombies is approaching. Makes you feel like... It makes you feel in it. Feel the action.
It's like it's really bringing me back too, honestly.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so nostalgic. All the sounds are so nostalgic. I know. It's really true. This game is so... It's so wonderfully nostalgic. And I know that that's like, you know, a thing everybody's tired of hearing. But I don't know. I think Plants vs. Zombies really hits on something because I really think it is the sound design especially. It's just like, I don't know. It's really special. I think it kind of roots itself in your head, pun intended.
I was going to call it out, but you did it yourself.
Don't worry, I'm aware. I know what I'm doing. All good. So here I'm really waiting for waves that have bucket heads in them to be able to use cherry bombs because they are so much of the wave's health, a bucket head, that just killing it instantly really just moves on to the next wave right away. You can see that there right in action. As soon as I put that cherry bomb down, next wave. Cherry bomb, next wave. Especially if there's bucket heads in the wave. Oh, wow, that is a wave that is 4 bucket heads in one vaulter? You almost never see that. More things you almost never see. Wow. GDQ Hotfix, everybody. This is why you come to the show. Oh my gosh. Amazing. We want a cherry bomb for this wave 9 here, at least one of them, but it's not looking like we have it yet, so we're just going to try to focus our damage. Ah, very good. I was going to say on those bucket heads, but we did get one, so that speeds us up a lot. And then we can use our remaining mines on the belt to make some extra instants. And then hopefully we can clean everything up with some cherry bombs. Nice.
That is a lot of zombies.
Was pretty.
Woo.
That was a really, really good 110, by the way. Really good.
Nice.
That was on the faster side for me. Oh, bye, Dave. I love having Dave come up and then just holding the thing. Ah, look at this. So, something interesting is happening here. We have a 2 newspaper preview. That means that we are going to have way more newspaper zombies than normal. We're going to have to see what we can do about that. Newspaper zombies are kind of pushovers. They don't have as much health as coneheads. But what they will do is once you break their newspapers, they become real curmudgeons and start sprinting at you really, really fast because you took away their favorite newspaper. So we will have to mitigate that with a bunch of puff shrooms. Speaking of puff shrooms, they are our most recent unlock, and they are the most OP plant in the game by far. By far. They cost nothing. And they have a very short cooldown, so you can just place them down all the time. But you are seeing me place them in column 7, and that is because they only shoot from 3 tiles back. So you do have to place them in column 7 or forward to shoot zombies immediately as they come onto the screen, which is, of course, ideal. That also means we have to straddle the graves in this sort of weird way. I put this mushroom in column 8 immediately because if there's a grave in column 7, you can't place anything in column 7. You can't plant on graves. Let me try. You can't plant on graves. I don't know why I even tried it. Maybe I was hoping the game would let me. Nah. I should know better. But anyways, you can't plant anything on that 7th column. So you want to try to do damage to zombies right away with the 8th column pushroom, and then later place a 6th column pushroom support, instead of having to wait for the zombie to walk in front and get to that 6th column pushroom. Hello, newspaper. Whenever a level introduces a new zombie, you can always expect to see it, pretty much always, on wave 6. So you could see that there, we did get a wave 6 newspaper. And now we're on to wave 7 because it's the first wave that can spawn a newspaper and a normal zombie. So I can use that to sort of count. I know this is going to be... actually, this might be wave 7. We might have gotten a wave 5 newspaper because it's a new 2 newspaper preview. That's pretty rare. It's possible. No, this is wave 9, I'm pretty sure. Counting.
Yay,
it's a skill you do need to have, but it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. All right. Since this level doesn't have cone heads, I know that a normal zombie up here is going to die to 2 puff shrooms, which is really nice. And I can just focus my efforts elsewhere. Why are the flag zombies seeing the mines? They are so good at seeing the mines today. Doesn't matter, it still dives to it, but wow. They are talented. All right, unfortunately there, we are going to have to deal with a little bit of a weird situation up top. Oh, come on. Oh, normal zombie, don't do that. Okay. Unfortunately, I was hoping for the normal zombie to die. Oh, that's fine. And then the newspaper could get to the chopper. All done. All right. We needed every bit of sun we had to deal with that final wave, so I'm glad we saved up there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here is a level where we're going to do the first instance of double sun economy. So you can see here that I'm bringing Sunshroom, which is our newest plant, and Sunflower. That actually does get us to a way faster economy situation, way faster sun spawning than we would be able to have otherwise. So we're just going to plant Sunshrooms until we can afford a sunflower, and then we'll start putting down sunflowers, and we will get sun faster than you know it. Also, this level spawns Buckethead, so that's the real reason we need that. We need lots of sun to deal with buckets. As previously mentioned, they really need instants to defeat them. And we are not looking to send a bunch of zombies to the mower this level because we still need that money to be able to buy that extra seed slot on 2-4. So we are mostly looking for choppers, which are, renewable, and cherry bombs to be able to defeat them. Yeah, we have a 2-wide grave thing as well down here. And you kind of look for that at the beginning of 2-2 because if a Buckethead spawns in this row, it would take a long, long time to walk to a chopper in column 7. So we want to make sure to save our cherry bombs to be able to defeat Bucketheads that show up in this row. And that's kind of all the things we need to think about in this one.
Only a couple.
We also need to think about placing down repeaters. I know. We also have to think about putting down repeaters. We have to think about so many things. Just a couple things.
No
it's not
problem.
a complicated run at all. Not a complicated run at all. Yeah. Lana, I'm sure I am just filling your brain with stuff right now, even though it's late at night.
I've got an entire notepad. We're taking detailed notes. I'll have a report on your desk by morning.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Oh my gosh, chat, is Lana like the best? I'm starting to think that Lana's the best.
Stop.
You're
sweet, thank you.
It's just a theory. Of course.
Time to become a Plants vs. Zombies runner.
Yes, it is Game of the Month right now. It's Game of the Month right now. Do it, chat. If you were thinking about running this game, by the way, just as an aside, please do. We have a bunch of amazing resources. We have a lot of tutorial videos. We have documents that explain a lot of things. We have runners that are always willing to help out. I'm the tutorial person for Game of the Month in the Fatales Discord, so you can always ask me anything there or anywhere else. I love to help new runners. This is a complicated game, as you can hear, but I think also very accessible. You can kind of just boot it up and play the game and try to get to those 50% rules as fast as possible. And if you do that, then you're going to go fast. And you're going to be able to submit and run to the leaderboards, and it's going to be great. So if you want to try your hand at this, please don't be afraid. Just do it. Unfortunately, we do have a Buckethead here in this row, but I'm just going to put it down to second repeater so that we don't have to wait 10 million years for that rule activation. Not too bad. Oh, and then we only get normals. Funny. So I was thinking about using a chopper on that next wave to just make it go faster, but we only had normal zombies, and that's just really not going to make the wave go all that much faster, so I decided not to. Let's do 3 repeaters bottom. Why not? We're having fun. This is not a normal sight, by the way. But why not? The buckets really need some help to be killed. They are strong. They are strong. Powerful zombies.
I was like, man, we have all bases loaded right now for the stage pretty much. Like, it is a full garden.
Yeah, I could make it completely full. Let's do it. Here we go. No tiles I can place on. Oh,
let's go.
Zombie ate that one. But, yep. Why not? All right, here, unfortunately, we do have to wait for this this Buckethead to walk up there. But otherwise, moving on to that final wave. All right. Also, every grave spawns a zombie at the end, and we aren't going to know until they spawn what kinds of zombies we're going to get. So you always kind of have to wait and react properly to those. Here, I'm going to go ahead and place a chopper back here, because I know that's going to take a while to get killed, and there we go. In future levels, we're going to be able to remove those graves, but right now we do not have the Grave Buster plant, so we have to wait. In this level, that's the right, yes, that is the right seed select. Looking at my little PowerPoint that I use. By the way, there's great PowerPoints, and there's no shame in using a PowerPoint to help you remember your seed select, to help you remember little things about the run. I love having a second thing open just to be able to reference it during the run. So if you're thinking about running this, that's a great strategy too. All right, this is the first of the levels we're going to call the prediction stages. The prediction stages are unique because they are going to spawn a zombie in wave 6 that's going to be really, really, really slow to kill if we don't catch it in a potato mine. And as we saw before, potato mines need a little bit of time to arm. So we're going to have to predict where that zombie is going to spawn. And then use that prediction, place down the mine, and get that mine ready. So it's going to be in wave 6. So this is wave 2 here, and we're going to want to place the mine down around wave 4. And as a reminder, zombies don't like to go where they've gone recently. So you can place a mine down somewhere that zombies went in waves 2-ish, and then you'll be more confident that potentially the conehead's going to go there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to place a mine down on this row because the second zombie went there. Or not the conehead, it's going to be the screen door zombie for this time. And let it come up, and hopefully we'll be good. Come on, screen door. Spawn in row 4. Who's with me, chat? You want the screen door to spawn in row 4?
Come on.
Come on, screen door.
I love all those bubbles.
Row 3. Yeah, this is the fume shroom. This is our newest plant. Fume shroom pierces both through like groups of zombies and through these screen door shields. As you can see, pretty slow to defeat this zombie this way, so we'd much rather get it in the mine, but it just didn't cooperate spawn-wise this time. Oh well. Ooh, but we do get to get a conehead instant kill on the mine in wave 7, so that's good.
Love it.
That's always a good consolation prize. If you miss the prediction, you always want a conehead to go right towards that mine. You're like, okay, fine. And they're more likely to, because you've likely placed a mine in a place where zombies haven't gone in a while. And so the game's like, all right, we'll put a high health zombie there for you. There you go. All right, and then the top thing about one flag levels in nighttime is oftentimes you don't have a lot of sun at the end of the level. So you kind of have to conserve your sun and be careful about what you're putting where. So I'm going to use a mine to try to take care of this bottom row and be able to use the cherry bomb on either the third or second row to clean up the zombies up here. And then maybe use a chopper if we have enough sun. Let's see what we get. This flag zombie is in front, so I'm gonna wait for it to die. Will it die ever? There we go. It died. We're good.
Just taking its time.
Exactly. All right. Dave, are you gonna give us the slot? Yeah, let's go. Thank you, Dave. So now we have a 7th seed slot, which is really cool. That's gonna make it so that we can do a lot more stuff, like bring Grave Buster, our newest friend. So Grave Buster is going to help us be able to remove graves throughout the level, which is super helpful. That means we aren't going to get those additional zombie spawns at the end of the level that are so pesky. And we're going to be able to remove the graves from those slots so that we can place plants on them. So that's really nice. We can also do something else really fun and funny with the Grave Busters this level in particular. Hopefully we get to do it. It depends on zombie spawns. Fingers crossed. This is another one of those 2 flag levels with high health zombies, so we bring Sunshroom and Sunflower once again to make sure that we have enough sun to do everything we want to do. This is the last level that we're going to do double Sun Econ though, because afterwards we're just going to have too many important things that we're going to need to put in our seat slots. So say goodbye to it. Enjoy your last double sun production level. Only here for a bit longer. Lana, I forgot to ask you. Do you have a favorite plant?
Oh, I can't think of one off the hop, but I really did like that kind of wintry pea shooter. I don't know, there was something about it that gave some like lovely Elsa vibes that I was really enjoying. So I'll go with that one.
Wonderful. I like the snow pea a lot aesthetically. I think it's really nice. It's actually one of the couple of plants I used to build my little original character mascot pea shooter thingy.
Okay.
I like pulled a bunch of plant assets and reshuffled them and recolored it. So I used the little spikes from the snow pea to build the ears, the little horns that spicy pea has. Yeah, so you can thank snow pea for that at least.
I love that.
Snow pea is really pretty, and it's really good casually. It's just, you know, it costs too much for us to really take it a lot here.
We're here for efficiency, and we're being frugal, you know, the important things for speedrunning.
We're here for a fast time, not a chill time. Here, I know this is wave 9, so I'm going to go ahead and put that zombie in the chopper. Unfortunately, this zombie decided to walk on my base, so we're going to have to finish it off and lose a fume in the process. Unfortunate. Because of that, I'm not going to do an instant on this wave. I'm just going to go ahead and prepare for future waves. Sometimes you can decide not to use an instant plant on a wave. If it's looking like your lawn isn't quite built up enough, it's looking like you're a little hairy, you might just decide to chill out. Let the zombies take a little bit longer to get to that 50% roll, and then you're going to be okay. That chomper just woke up, by the way. Chompers do wake up about 42 seconds after something bites them. Also, I'm going to do the cool thing I was talking about. Grave busters can make vaulters jump. There we go. But yeah, so they do rarely wake up sometimes in levels if you put them in column 8 in the speedrun. Every now and again they'll do it. Oh wow, this fume is suffering. Let's help it out. Oh my gosh, another eat on the top. Wow. Getting some rare chomper eats. Almost never see it. Fun to see.
Has that happened before?
Oh, it does happen. It's just not super common. We can't have a second one. I'm sorry. We met our quota. We met our quota. We're good. We're all good now. Luckily, the screen door down bottom is already getting shot by 2 fumes, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Don't have to worry too much about it. That is sometimes what will getting more damage up on the screen will do for you. Sometimes it does make things easier. We're just reticent to do it as speedrunners because, you know, why would you place it down a fume when you can place a chopper? Chopper gets the wave done right away. It's easy. All right, let's see how this final wave goes. It's looking pretty good. Only had 1 grave. Fumes are also nice because they can get through these big groups of zombies. I'm not as worried about this little stack up here because that Pierce is going to go ahead and get everybody. Hooray! It's every marathon runner's favorite phrase. This is the auto-scroller of the game. The game's only auto-scroller, essentially. The menuing into it is part of it. Does slow you down if you do it slow. And also the final wave, you do want to use a cherry bomb to kill the zombies during the final wave so that you can move on. But those are the only ways to increase the speed of 2-5. Otherwise, the zombies are just going to pop up when they want to, and you're going to whack them when they pop up. Whack. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, this is a really important stage for any percent because the grave busters, as you can see, spawn money when they eat a grave. which again is really, really important for us later on. So you kind of use this level to gauge how much money you have and how much money you think you're going to have for the rest of the run, because it is RNG and it does affect the run a lot, actually, in any percent. However, as I just mentioned in this run, it doesn't really matter after 2-4. So we're not considering that a ton. We're mostly just trying to bust graves so that we have fewer zombies in the final wave, and we're trying to bust graves in a way that lets us have a nice pattern for a cherry bomb at the end of the level. Also, I have heard, and I don't know how confirmed this is the thing about PvZ speedrunning, is you can hear these things and you don't quite know if they're true all the time. But I have heard that if you are holding sun, you get sun slower in 2-5. So maybe that's another thing that we're doing, is use up your grave busters quicker so that you don't have sun just lying around in your inventory. But again, I'm gonna have to get some proof on that before I can say it confidently. A lot of PvZ myths floating around. We do know a lot of this stuff because the code of the game was available for a while, several years ago, and people did learn a lot from that, but it became unavailable after that. So we mostly just know what we knew from then, and things we sort of, prove experimentally now. This game is very scientific. It ends up big. That's another cool thing, is there's a lot going on in this game that isn't just speedrunning. We have a new randomizer up, which is super, super cool. A bunch of our community members work really hard on it. It's really amazing. I definitely recommend giving that a try. We also have, again, there's a lot of science being done all the time on this game. You can kind of discover new things about its mechanics by just going in and doing runs and, messing around. So if you're interested in doing anything like that, this is a great game for that too. Alrighty, another prediction stage, and this time we have the football zombie. Hello, football zombie. Sorry if you're not American. If you're not American, you can call him the rugby zombie if you want. But the football zombie is the highest health zombie that we've seen so far. It is higher health than the Buckethead. So we are really going to need to kill it with an instant. We're going to be looking to do it with the potato mine, just like we were trying to do with the screen door. But if we can't do it with the potato mine, we're going to do it with a hypno shroom, which is our newest plant. The hypno shroom lets a zombie work for you. Once it eats it, it will work on your side and eat other zombies for you. Of course, if a football's doing it, that means it can eat a lot of other zombies, but it also means that zombies have to spawn in the same row behind it to work, which is not very likely, as we previously discussed. I'm actually going to let this zombie go to the mower once we get the 50% rule off of it, because it's possible that this zombie will get to the mower in time for that wave 6 football kill. Let's see. Alright. I'm going to put mine down bottom because a guy spawned there on the first wave but hasn't since. It might get a wave 5 zombie though, we'll see. Coneheads usually need 3 puff shrooms in order to die, as sort of a little aside. It's looking pretty good. It's looking like we're either going to get football middle or bottom. Let's see what happens.
Come on, football.
Come on, football. Let's do it. Give me the prediction. Yeah, the prediction. Let's go. Huge. I love getting predictions live. That's awesome. That is the least important one. I clicked off screen accidentally because the fume is, or the hypno is pretty effective in its place, but it does cost more sun, and the mine is more convenient in that way. So we do like to get it. Don't get me wrong. Right now we're going to save the hypno shroom for the 9th wave, though, potentially. We need it. Here's the 9th wave. We do not need it. It is only normal zombies, which is great, because that means we can use our sun for other things. And save the hypno for the final wave if we need it then. I'm gonna not grave bust that. It's all about making decisions. I decided to not use the grave buster there because it costs 75 sun, and it's possible I'm gonna need both the hypno shroom and the cherry bomb here. So I decided I wasn't gonna do that. It's actually a really nice final wave, but hypno will speed it up. So I think that was a perfectly decent choice. So Gravebuster also would have gotten that grave away, which means we would have had one last zombie. It's all give and take. All right, 2-7, we are returning to the 2 flags, but this time without our second source of sun production. That is because we have the newest plant, Scaredy Shroom. So Scaredy Shroom, as you can see, only costs 25 sun. That's very, very cheap. It's going to become our best form of damage from here on out. It does the same amount of damage as a pea shooter. The only downside is that a Scaredy Shroom has social anxiety. Sorry, Scaredy Shroom. Which means that we are not going to be able to place it near zombies. If it's near a zombie, it shrinks into its little hole in the ground. Relatable. So we like to kind of leave, or at least I say we, but this is kind of new. Most runners haven't done this until recently, but I do like to leave the back row open for Scaredies, and so then I don't really have to worry about it. Because normally zombies aren't going to eat your sun shrooms anyway, but they might get close to them. And of course, that's what Scaredies care about. So I think that can be a good strategy. Yeah, you can also see we are really ramping up the graves here. Every single level in night, the game spawns more and more graves, and you just have to figure out how you're going to deal with them. Of course, Gravebuster will help, but also, of course, they bring Scaredy in so that you don't have to worry about placing too many mushrooms on the level. You can just place down the really cheap Scaredy to be able to deal with it. As I said before, purple plants, they're OP. Scaredy Shroom, Puff Shroom, and Chopper are super, super good. Some of the S-tier all-star lineup. Fume gets a participation award.
We'll give you something.
Yeah. Fumes are good. They're just expensive. Especially not in these 2 flag levels, especially in 1 flag levels. It's, it takes a lot of investment to put down a fume. So eventually it might pay off. But if you only have 10 waves of zombies, then does it, is that your smartest decision? Probably not. It's all about making choices. Oh no. So we have this conehead zombie on this really long row of graves up here, which means we can't use a hypno shroom on it. We gotta wait for this cherry bomb. Really slow. And not just slow, but that means we don't have the cherry bomb for this big wave, so we gotta be careful. Not overwhelm ourselves. Let's see if we can find a high health zombie to hypno shroom. Not yet. That's alright. Let's grave bust. It's all about making these choices, reacting to what you get. It's a really, really interesting game in that respect, I think. Alright, go ahead and hypno this. Also, grave busting in column 9 is really important because of those hypno shrooms, so that you're able to go ahead and put them down right away. You can see the consequences of not doing that from that wave 9 conehead we just had that we had to use the cherry bomb on. I'm just instinctively humming the music. Oh.
I love it. Yeah, I was just going to say, it really shows in these later levels, too, just how much that knowledge combination, the length that goes to, where it's you really need to know your stuff, you need to know your alternatives, and it's a really good showcase of all of the intel you've gathered just in learning the run and performing it. So that's awesome.
Aw, don't you think so? Yeah, I mean, it's a really complicated run, but it's, I think, not an intimidating run. It's a game where you can really just dive in if you want to, and do your best, see what works for you. I think it's really, personalized, not personalized, kind of a, I don't know. I think you can really play the game how you want. You can kind of make your own decisions, right? A lot of top runners play this game really differently. They have really different ideas on what, is faster, what is sustainable, what they want to be doing. And I think that's really fascinating. You can really get into this game and play it differently than everybody else. And as long as you're trying to get those 50% rolls fast, as long as you're clearing the board quickly at the end of the level, you're good, So you decide how you want to do that. Basically. There I decided to not use that Hypno Shroom to get that last zombie dead quicker, because I knew that that screen door wasn't going to die super fast, and we might need it for this final wave here, and it would have been not on cooldown if I hadn't. So here, this is great that I did that, because this football zombie is going to be able to work for us and eat these zombies up top faster than we would have been able to kill them ourselves. Nice! Make the zombies work for you. Customizable, yeah. Stumbling over my words. Uh-oh, it's Michael Jackson. Do you see him there?
Oh, there he is.
What's he doing here? Okay, so now it's time to reveal. I've been doing something a little sneaky. I'm not playing on the Game of the Year version, which is the version that you can buy on Steam. Right now, I'm playing on the original version. The reason for that is exactly that guy, Michael Jackson down there. They replaced Michael Jackson in the Game of the Year editions and every edition that followed with a generic disco zombie for multiple reasons. But the main reason is that this game came out a little bit before Michael Jackson unfortunately passed away. So not great timing to represent him as a zombie in a video game, even if Thriller exists. And in doing so, they actually changed the mechanics of the zombie. They made it so that the disco zombie only walks towards the 9th column and then starts spawning backup disco zombies. However, in the original, it actually walks all the way to the 8th column, and that's better for us because that gives us more options for the prediction mine. We can place in the 8th column or the 9th column. The Michael Jackson zombie is never going to spawn in the top or bottom rows. So I know I have to predict in one of these three, and this time the middle made the most sense. Let's see if we get it. Getting the Michael prediction is the biggest prediction this time. Oh, it's looking really good. If the game spawns the way it normally does, it's looking like we've got it. Let's see what we can do. Come on, Michael. No, why?
No.
I'm in room 4. Michael never cooperates. That's one thing you just gotta learn. Michael will never be nice to you. There we go. He's gone. We did it. Good news is if you have a lot of damage on that row, it's not a huge deal. But if you don't, it can really get out of hand. And also it just saves a lot of time to have the Michael Jackson zombie just go to the mine. You don't have to play this game on the original version, by the way. Like, not at all. To speedrun, you can totally just do it on the Game of the Year edition. It's really splitting hairs with the Michael Jackson zombie. That's literally the only reason I'm doing that. So, you know, you don't have to worry about it if you want to speedrun this game and you have Game of the Year only. Do not be concerned at all about that. Just run the game. Do it. Do whatever you want. There are other slight differences. A plant called the split pea actually works a little bit differently. But again, it's not a big deal. Nice. We got a really good cherry there. I think this top... Oh, God. I don't think we're going to be able to speed this up. Nope. Just wait for it to die. Good. The final wave of 2-8 can be the most out of hand because the Michael Jackson zombie can just really get in your way. Here, I'm going to do a strat that we recently developed called Fumeless. So, sorry, Fume Shroom, we're actually going to not bring you, even though this level spawns screen doors. And you might go, what? Wait a minute, why? Isn't that the screen door counter? That's true, but another counter to every zombie in the whole game is explosions. And now we have two ways to do that. We have the Cherry Bomb and the Doom Shroom, which are both really, really effective instant plants, but they both do take a long time to come back when you use them. So if we bring both of them and Hypno Shroom, then we have enough instant plant options to be able to destroy all of the screen doors if we are smart. This is only an advanced strategy, I would say. If you're trying out this game for the first time, I do not recommend Fumeless. I recommend just taking Fume instead of Cherry Bomb and reacting appropriately to the screen doors as they come up. But if you've played a little bit, try it out. It's usually faster than Fume. And also you get to just get maximum explosions in the level, which I love, personally. Big fan of that. You can also see in 2.9 here, they are really hammering us with the graves. There's a lot of them here, so we have to be careful and work around them. Our great friend, the Scaredy, is going to be even more useful than ever before. But also cherry bombs and dooms, too. Doom has a 5x5 explosion radius, if you've never seen it, which means that it really is kind of like a screen wipe if all the zombies are on one side of the screen. If you place it in the middle. If you plant it on the top and bottom, it's a little bit wonkier. That's not going to matter too much in this level, but it will matter in the next, which is the last level of the run, by the way. We are creeping up on that final here. Getting close. I know. Don't want it to end, but it has to. It has to someday. Yeah, although the game doesn't end after night, as many of y'all probably know who have played this game before, there are 3 more worlds in Plants vs. Zombies. There's the roof level, which is the final one. The one that comes right after night is called Pool. And then the one after that is called Fog. And they all have kind of different gimmicks. They all do different things. And they're all really great worlds for speedrunning, especially Pool is super skill-based, and Roof has a ton of different strategies that we use that are really, really interesting. I highly recommend trying them out or watching a video of those speedruns. I think they're really, really interesting and cool. We're just not going to be showing them off today because it takes a long time to do those worlds. And we want to get to some other amazing fatales and fatales runs. Here I'm going to wait for this rule to be activated and clean up these zombies using a Doom Shroom. Doom. One of my favorites. You can see there that the Doom Shroom left this crater here. We can no longer plant on that spot at all. So we just have to wait for that to heal or avoid it for the rest of the level, which is more than likely what we'll be doing. But that's okay. Such is life. It's not a big deal. We'll work with it. Oh my goodness, Michael Jackson! As we learned before, Michael will never let up. The more Michael Jacksons you get in this level, the worse. Especially if you're playing it with fumeless, because you're saving your instant plants for those screen door zombies. Because otherwise, if a screen door is not being shot at with a fume, it actually has the same health as a bucket head, so... And also, shooting it doesn't even do the wave. It doesn't help with the wave. So it's really important to be able to save those for those screen doors. We are also going to be able to sort of screen wipe the final wave here with a Doom Shroom. So what I'm doing is I'm going to not use a Doom Shroom until the final wave, but I am going to use a Cherry Bomb on wave 9, but we're not there yet. So I'm mindfully not using it yet. If you're not seeing me use it, there's a reason. All right, nice. We've got Hypno and Cherry, but we're only really going to need Cherry. Yep, beautiful. And that makes for a nice fast wave 9. We go into the next wave. Alrighty. You're going to be able to see here a really nice Doom Shroom clear. I love the end of 2.9. It's super satisfying. Boom.
Yes.
We're also often looking at the end of wave 9 and other times where we get a bunch of zombies on the screen for diamond drops. So diamonds don't really matter in this category, but they do matter in any percent, so I'll mention them. They are 1,000 money, and they're 1 in 1,000 to drop. So that's really, really important. You need at least 1 money to be able to do the optimal strategies or at least 1 diamond to do the optimal strategies in Roof, and it helps you get the 8th seed slot faster in Pool as well, the more money that you get quicker. So that is really important, unfortunately, and it's a huge bit of RNG. That's another reason why day through night is a really good beginner category. It doesn't really mind about stuff like that. That's not, that's not something that's going to make or break your run, is the money stuff here. You do need enough for the seed slot in 2-4, but other than that, you don't have to worry too much about getting diamonds. But if a diamond does happen, it does a little ding sound and a diamond pops out of a zombie and it's fun. So if you see that, don't be alarmed. It exists. It's fine. I also know we're going a little behind, so I'll probably do my shout-outs right about now. So my name is Satan herself, or Satan isn't herself on Twitch, as you can see in the title of the screen and also the pinned comment. I do stream this game quite a lot. This is one of my mainstream games. Not mainstream, well, kind of mainstream, but I also play Peggle. As I mentioned earlier in the show, I am going to be running Peggle Extreme at GDQ 2025, which, by the way, is the official Valve X Peggle crossover that came out in the orange box. That's real. So if you're interested in that, please definitely watch the run. It's amazing. So I stream Peggle a lot. That's kind of my main game. PvZ is my second main game, I would say. They're both really important to me and get a lot of airtime on my stream. So if you'd like to see either one of those, please come hang out. This game is also in as a backup run for AGDQ, this exact run, in fact. So I might be playing that there as well. We'll see. You never know. Let's see. Is there anything else? Well, shoutouts to the PvZ community as well. As I mentioned before, we have a new randomizer. We've got a lot of amazing runners. Everybody is super, super talented, super helpful, so smart. There's new stuff being discovered and routed in this game all the time. There's always a possibility that the plants we bring to a level will change because a new runner tries something new, or a top runner decides to play it differently someday, or whatever. The game is always changing. There's always something interesting happening. So I definitely recommend coming and checking it out. There's a Discord link on our SRC page, so you can always just get to it from there. And that Discord is where you'll be able to find a bunch of amazing runners, a bunch of amazing resources for this game. It's great. Of course, here we're doing a very similar thing to 110, where we are just trying to use Doom Shrooms as much as we can so that the game's not giving us fewer of them, but we're also using Hypno Shrooms where we can as well, especially on those football zombies, because the football zombies are really high health, so being able to just immediately get them with a Hypno is almost always going to get you the Rule right away as well. So just as effective as a Doom without having to spend a Doom, which you might need more later. Like that. Yep, and of course the plant that I alluded to earlier, the one that we are not using so that we can make it more likely that we get other stuff, is Ice Shroom. Sorry, Ice Shroom. Yep. Fun fact, the dancer zombies don't actually count towards the rule. They do not. So if you leave them alive, you're still going to be able to get that 50% roll. Kind of funny. Here I've left this space open so that I can do a nice Doom Shroom. And then unfortunately we're going to have to hypno this and wait for these zombies to die because I did it a little early. And I wait until the seed packet is done to tell time, and that is time. 1:14:15 on my end.
Ooh, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Satan. Everyone, let's give another round of applause because that was amazing. I had a lot of fun with that. I sure hope you did. Any other final words? I know you gave your shout outs and everything, but anything else you'd like to share with all of us?
Well, thank you, Lana. By the way, Lana's amazing. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I had such a great time. My last shout out, besides, come hang with me on Twitch if you'd like at Satan Isn't Herself, or on YouTube at Satan Herself. I've uploaded a bunch of Plants vs. Zombies randomizer content on there lately that's ready to watch. So if you want to see the randomizer, please do that. Aside from that, this is the current Game of the Month game. If you're a Fatale, or if you're thinking about becoming a Fatale, come on in and talk to me about Plants vs. Zombies. Play it casually. Play a speedrun. I have a tutorial in the pinned comment in the channel. I would absolutely love to see new runners of this game. I would love to hang out with y'all. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks again. All right, everyone, stick around because we will be continuing the Frame Fatale's Game of the Month special very shortly.
I can't wait for the other runs.
I know. We have Skator Gator 3D that'll be coming up after the break. And just a reminder as well that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and chat with other subscribers during our replays. So again, as mentioned, we have Skator Gator 3D any percent with my lovely friend Kara coming up very shortly. Stick around after the break for more of our special coming very soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our very special Frame Fatale's Game of the Month one-off that we are celebrating together tonight. A lovely Friday evening where we have tons of wonderful games put on by our members of the Fatales community. Now, again, really quick rundown. The Game of the Month, we like to pick a game where everyone in the community or whoever wants to participate gets to speedrun, basically, play it casually, have a lot of fun, submit to the leaderboard if they choose. And we're going through some of the games of the month that took place in 2024. So we just saw Plants vs. Zombies, which was is our game of the month currently, actually. And we're going back through some of our favorites of this year as well. So it's sure to be exciting. Before we toss over to that one, just a quick announcement. GDQ 2025 will be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th to 12th. Registration and hotel booking are now open, so make sure to go to gamesdonequick.com and check the GDQ 2025 important date section, and you can learn more and maybe come join us in person. It's going to be super fun. So I'm not going to keep all of you any longer because I am very excited to introduce our next runner here for her very first GDQ appearance. I am very excited to introduce you to my very good friend Kara, who will be taking us through Skator Gator 3D any percent. How we doing, Kara?
Oh, we're doing so good. I'm definitely not terrified and nervous. I don't even know why you would think that. I'm great. How are you, Lana?
I'm amazing. Thanks for asking.
You are amazing.
No, you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kara, also known as Oh Hey It's Kara, but that's just my name with extra words in front of it, so you can just call me Kara. I'm going to be running Skator Gator 3D. This is a very fast-paced run, and I'm doing my own commentary, which is a speed run in its own right. So before we get started, just a quick overview. If you played a Sonic the Hedgehog game, you have a general idea of what this is going to be like. There's going to be rail grinding sections, there's going to be 3D platforming sections, and you want to go fast. And also there's a polluted swamp full of malicious mechanical animals, and you're trying to save the day / also the environment. And those are the basics. Everything else we're going to cover when we get into the run. So, oh my gosh, let's do it in
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, this is our first of 13 levels. Get that deed back. That is a reference to the lore of this game. Look at that mean, toothy robot up there. That robot has stolen the deed to our family's swamp. We got to get it back. That's the lore. We've got rail sections and platform sections. There's boosting on rails, but we'll talk more about that a little later. Let's talk about moving on the ground. We want to be touching the ground as little as possible. So, just going to play a little safe there. Would prefer not to goof up on the first level. Okay, there's a lot of tiny little optimizations in this run, which also means there's a lot of ways to recover, which is something I really like about it. I make mistakes in this run constantly, and you can still get a pretty decent time. Another piece of platforming movement tech is the Super Dash, which I just did right there. I'm playing as, the skin that I have right now is Gilded Gary, who's very sparkly, so there's always stars coming out of me, but if you see extra stars coming out of my gator butt, and I did get permission to say the words gator butt, that's how you know I've done a super jump, or a super dash, which just means that I'm jumping directly out of a dash. That's going to be important for a lot of the developer-intended shortcuts. Now, I say developer-intended because there's a glitch that we use, and I just used it. It's happened so fast. What even was that? I will tell you. I will answer that question for you. That is called a teledash. This was discovered, I can never remember either during the beta or the demo of this game. There are these square boost pads scattered around the levels. If you pause the game while your feet are touching a boost pad, the game gets confused and builds up a ton of extra momentum. When you unpause the game, it will rocket you forward. Whoops! Okay, I cannot believe I recovered there. I am doing very weird things with the camera. Okay, that's like not that hard of a trick, but
You're killing it.
Thanks, Lana. I feel great. This is honestly how I feel every time I run this game. It's so frantic, but I really love it. So you might ask, why don't we do that teledash constantly? I see these pads everywhere. And the answer is, while it technically does work on every boost pad, we can't control where that teleport drops us. So a lot of them will just drop us into a pit or a wall or a swamp. And so we just use the ones that are beneficial. This is the first of our 3 auto-scroller boss levels. No platforms, just rails. So let's talk about rail boosting a little bit. When you boost on a rail, you are for a few frames committed to that boost. That means you cannot jump out of it or change rails. This means that if you boost too close to the end of a rail, you won't be able to jump out in time and you will fall into a swamp of doom and sadness, which is not what we want. Doom and sadness, not what... So just like that actually, I did that on purpose to demonstrate what happens if you don't get the boost timing. What this means is that, if I was going for a world record or a PB right now, I'd be taking a ton of extra rail boosts. This is a good example right here. I'm going to boost here, but then there are all these little short pipes. Yeah, you can technically boost on all of those. The current world record run boosts on all of those. But it's super tricky. Whoops. Okay, I definitely have got some live event nerves, but that's fine. This is another dev intended shortcut. So yes, I am not going to be doing most of those risky boosts. I'm going to take a couple because I'm a daredevil. I'm a gambler. And we'll just hope for the best. There's our first cutscene skip. This game has cutscenes. And we are about to see our first of the 2 power-ups that this game has to offer. The electric whoops. That's not what it's called. It's not called the electric whoops. That would be a delightful name. It sounds like a fun dance move. Lana, I have got the yips right now. It's going so good. This is the electric eel. What does electric eel do? Trick question, it does 2 things. Thing number 1, when you dash with the... One moment, please. Okay, when you dash the electric eel, you get a shield that protects you from enemies and projectiles. Thing number 2, when you change rails with the electric eel, it fires a bolt of electrical energy. This is how we're going to defeat the boss at the end. Now, let's rewind a little bit. You decided to teledash, and if you are a keen-eyed viewer, and I know you are, you may have noticed that I paused and unpaused twice. Why did I do that? Well, the timing is weird here now. Everything's going great. That's literally my least favorite part of the run.
Woo!
But now we're through. We're through it on the other side.
We got it. Easy peasy.
Easy game, easy life, Lana. That's what I always say. Whoops. Okay. Okay, Kara, breathe. Everything's fine. You love this game. You love gaming. You're a gamer. Okay, so these teledashes, they are fickle creatures. They're finicky beasts. They have some strange properties. Oh my God, I can't believe I made that. One of those strange properties is that some teledashes, when you drop out of the teleport, you will have this weird backwards momentum, which, especially if it's on a rail, can be a huge time loss. So in my runs of this game, I've spent a lot of time doing, let's call it science, which is my word for trial and error and panic button mashing, to try to figure out why that's happening, or at the very least, how to prevent it. One moment, I'm coming up on Murder Alley. Slowed down on Murder Alley, but I didn't get murdered. And that's what is the most important thing about Murder Alley. So it seems to be that on these teledashes, if you double pause buffer, it seems to solve the backwards momentum problem. Now, I don't know why that works, and I'm not even sure that what I think is happening actually is happening. So if you're a part of the Skator Gator community, or if you're thinking about joining the Skator Gator community, come do some science with me. I would love to get a definitive answer on what's happening there. Also, very quickly, that was a real blink and you miss it. Also, probably you can miss it without blinking. I just did a little 1 frame delay there so that B would go past me instead of running into me. It's so tiny, but I love doing it. You know, I for years, I was a fan of speedrunning before I started running myself, and I would see these runs and watch these runners, and they would talk about frame-perfect tricks, and I would think, well, I would love to speedrun, but I can't do a frame-perfect trick. 1/60th of a second? Are you joshing me? But then, a couple years ago, I tried it out, and it took me a while, but in Dark Souls of all games, I did my first frame-perfect trick. And you can do them in this game too. I know that this sounds like an after-school special for gamers, but like, you can do it. You can do a frame-perfect trick. If I can do it, you can do it. So we've got our second auto-scroller boss level. This time our rival does get a health bar, but we are not able to defeat them this time around. They don't get a name though. They are still question mark, question mark, question mark. Or as I like to say, huh? That's a joke just for me. That's just for me, that one.
I'm laughing, Tara. I'm laughing.
Thanks, Lana. Oh gosh, okay, that jump I literally just learned this week from watching the current world record run, and it makes me so happy because I've been looking for a way to make that section smoother for a while, and then, now it happens. Okay, I'm sorry, I got so excited about the last jump. I'm doing very good at playing it safe, though. So we are now in the third and final section of the game, Nighttime, where we also have our second and final power-up of the game, the Dragon Wings, which give us a double jump. We are going to, wherever possible, try to save up and chain these double jumps to make certain skips easier or in some cases possible. That jump that I just did is a developer-intended shortcut. It's easy and quick with 2 wings. It's scary and or slow with 1 wing. And it is possible with 0 wings. And in so many of my practice runs this week, I have done it with 0 wings. And I'm so glad that I got to do it with 2 wings just now. But if you thought that was intense, folks, 2 wings, pshaw to you, I say. We are about to, if I do this correctly, get 5 wings. This is one of my favorite movement sections. That was pretty good. 5 wings is more than we need, but it's nice to have them for safety because what's going to happen is I'm about to do a teledash. We go 1, 2, 3, pause, and we teleport over a swamp of death. And so we're going to use those wings to double jump and dash our way out. Okay, it's factory time. Factory is the final platforming level and second to last level of the run. Folks, we're almost there. It's been such a whirlwind. Factory is home to, maybe you've guessed, a trick called Factory Skip. Factory Skip was, for a time, considered to be the hardest trick in the run. Since then, other tricks have been found that I think are much harder. But Factory Skip is still a pretty big skill check for anyone learning this run, and we're gonna see it right now. And Lana, I'm giving you a first try promise right now. Why would I do that? Why would I say that? Here we go. Okay, part 1, we're good. Nope. Why did I promise you first try? Okay, this is good. This is just so this gives me more time to explain how it works. So, since the early days of platforming games, there has been, I'm goofing up right now. This is a full goof right now. Since the early days of platformers, designers discovered that if you program a game to have the character fall the second they're not standing on solid ground, it makes sense, but boy, it just doesn't feel right. Okay, hey, second try Factory Skip, not bad. First try, that's right.
Yeah!
So Coyote Time gives you a couple frames of grace where the game treats you as if you are on the ground even though you're not. So we take advantage of that to drop out of that teledash and jump. Uh-oh. We're fine. Sometimes the wrong bit of muscle memory kicks in and I try and do a teledash. There's no teledash there. But thankfully, it's going so well. Anyway, so there's a coyote jump into a double jump super dash. It took me so long to learn, but boy, it feels good when you get it right. Hey, it's the final level of the game. We learn the name of our rival. It's Skator Gator. And like the Banshees of old, now that we know their name, we can defeat them. And we're going to defeat them very quickly. This section, this level has 2 very long sections. that you are intended to go through, but that's so slow. So I am doing a precise series of lane changes and dashes to get in a couple extra hits, and that's Skator Gator right there. We're about to come up on time. When I hit that deed, it's gonna be time. We don't even see that second section. Time.
Wow!
Oh my God!
You did it! That was amazing!
That's Skator Gator 3D, everyone. I'm seeing here that was a 9:47 in-game time, which is like respectable for a live run, I think. Do you know what my real time was?
Yeah, I've got 11:32.
I will you know what? I told Lana between 11 and 12 minutes, and that is almost exactly
That's pretty much.
I feel great about that. That's a win in my book all by itself.
Yay!
I am so glad I got to show off this game. This game's been shown off on GDQ a few times, and I just think it's so fun. If it looks fun to you, I cannot more strongly suggest try it out. Whether it's speedrun or it's also just like a super charming casual game. The movement is super smooth. Try it out. Also, there is before Skator Gator 3D, Weathered Sweater, the team behind this, made a game called Skator Gator, or as I call it, Skator Gator 2D. And you should run that one too, because no one runs it. There's 3 people on the leaderboard. I'm the world record, but it's like not a very good run. Like you should play Skator Gator 2D and you should take my world record from me. The Weathered Sweater Discord server is super friendly. You can find that on the speedrun.com page for this game. And even more amazing than this game are the frame fatales, because they're how I found this game in the first place, through Game of the Month. It was the first game of the month when I joined fatales, and it's the first speedrun that I ever felt like really good about. And a lot of that is because the fatales are just such an incredible community, and I feel so, I want to say the word chuffed, but I'm too American for it. I'm just so pleased and honored to be a part of them. So if you are interested in speedrunning, and if you identify as femme in any way that's meaningful to you, I just, please come join the fatales. You are not going to find a more lovely bunch of humans pretty much anywhere. So thank you to the fatales for having me. Thank you to Games Done Quick for having me. I'm going to go, I don't know how am I going to work off this adrenaline. If you want to see more of me, I'm on twitch.tv/ohheyitskara. I'm a full-time streamer, so I'm there a lot. Come on by. We do speedrunning and a lot of other things that aren't speedrunning. And I'm looking at my notes, and that's all the things that I'm supposed to say. Thanks, Lana.
Amazing.
Thanks, Fatales. Thanks, GDQ. This is like a dream come true for me.
Aw, well, thanks so much for being a part of our Frame Fatales Game of the Month celebration, Kara. It is always a pleasure to work with you, and of course, you're such a joy. And based on the chat, they agree. So thank you so much for showing off our Game of the Month from February/March. It was our first one of 2024. So big thanks to that. We are going to be getting ready for our next run very shortly, where we will be taking you through some neon beats with my good friend Metroid Crime. So stick around for that. Just a quick announcement. Make sure to join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. You can use !Discord and Twitch chat for more info. So now is a great time. We're going to take a little bit of a break, get some stretches in, whatever you need, and we will catch you back right after this for more of our Frame Fatales Game of the Month special. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special evening that we are having here on GDQ Hotfix as we celebrate a Frame Fatales Game of the Month special, where we are going back through the year 2024 to show off some of our favorite Game of the Months. Games of the Month, Game of the Months. Let me know what you think. We'll figure something out eventually. I'll go back and forth until then. So we have already seen 2 incredible runs in Plants vs. Zombies, which is our current Game of the Month, as well as Skator Gator 3D, which was our first Game of the Month of the year. Now we are getting to one that was taking place right in the summer there with some neon beats. Now, before we toss over there, just a quick announcement. If you've missed out on any of our shows challenges, or events, be sure to check out the VODs at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And you can catch up on one-off specials like this or some of your favorite recurring shows that take place here on GDQ Hotfix at all times. Almost all times. So, as mentioned, we are going into our next game of the month, which was around that July mark. And I am very excited to introduce my good friend Metroid Crime, who will be showing off Neon Beats All Music Notes plus DLC Glitchless. So let's learn more about it. How we doing, Crime?
Hey there, Lana. Thank you so much for that intro. Hi, everyone. I'm Metroid Crime, running Neon Beats. It's a really cool rhythm platformer, and I'm here with my commentators if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm the first half of MB's to Lovers, Laszlo.
Hello, I'm Var, and I'm the second half of MB's to Lovers.
Perfect. Amazing. Both fellow Fatales, and let's get started. Let's go. So this game is actually free, which is really cool. The first half of this is free. Level 4 onwards is paid DLC, but it's a really cool game to get into if you're just looking to get started in speedrunning or just to check out casually. So I'm going to give a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thanks.
So Neon Beats is a rhythm platformer. As you can see, there is going to be little pulsating things coming off of the block that Crime is controlling based on the music. And a lot of the movement here is going to be very time-based. As Crime said, this is a free game up to level 3. So like if you like what you're watching and you want to play along, go ahead and grab the game. You can play up to level 3 along with Crime. I think it's a really cool and fun game. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of this is me going to be reading technical notes for some of the cool shenanigans that are going to happen because I don't play this game, but I know how to read notes, baby. So we're here for a good time and a long time. But this is all music notes. So there's going to be a little bit of things that Crime's going to have to do. Sometimes Crime's going to have to like kind of pivot back to one side of the screen to the left or right to kind of make a note appear because it's not going to appear at first, especially on the auto scroller level. So that was a tutorial. Very short, very easy. Most of the talking is going to be at the beginning here. And we're going to vibe a lot. We're here to vibe, baby. We're here to vibe real hard.
I love a good rhythm game speedrun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very, very big fan of rhythm games. Nothing's really complicated here. Obviously, spikes are big, bad no-nos. We don't touch the spikes. As tempting as it is, everybody. Don't touch them.
They're pretty, but don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Very tempting, and don't do it.
Okay, so there's basically the tutorial level was the only level that has 1 music notes. All the rest have 3.
Yep.
Spaced in various places.
I'm vibing already. Like,
Yeah.
I love all the subtle colors too. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, just tickles the brain real nice.
All the cycles on all the moving platforms and everything are synced up to the music as well. It's just like extra satisfying when Crime like clean one cycles through a segment. It's like really, really satisfying to watch. And I'm sure it's just as satisfying to play yourself.
Yeah, totally. Oh, we're gonna go this way. We didn't quite clear those spikes. There we go.
So it seems like when you collect like the music note too, you have it, right? Like it's not like, I'm comparing to like Celeste Strawberries or something where you have to clear an area almost. It's like if you grab it, you've got it sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And the fun thing too about the all music notes category versus like the regular any %, which when I started running this game, I actually didn't pick up the all music notes until I like basically was looking for an incentive for this game. And then I played all music notes and I was like, oh my god, the music is so much better. This is so much more fun. Because every note you pick up adds to the soundtrack.
Yeah, so like as Crime's gonna pick them up, you kind of notice that it adds a little bit of flair there, which I think is actually really cool about this. Because I remember
so
when Crime was
cool.
like, "Hey, you wanna commentate on music?" I was like, "Yo, yeah," and you were like, "It's all music notes." I was like, "Oh, Pog, let's go, baby!" Because I honestly think this is a superior category to be honest with you. It's very cool. So cool. We're now gonna go to level 2. So this one has some cool stuff where platforms are gonna appear and disappear. So I think that's a pretty nifty little gimmick here.
The intervals with it too are not like just these like clean cycles too. Like I said, how they are synced up to the music. That means that it's not just going to be like a very specific like on-off beat. It's going to be this kind of like irregular beat that this track has. Just super cool. A little bit more challenging.
I also like the beat sequence in this one for the chase. It's like so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say that is my favorite part. It was
so good.
The hold of the music when you drop down the it hits so
It's so good.
hard.
Uh-huh.
So good. It's a banger game. And just the whoop whoop whoop, like, oh god, I feel like I'm 14 again, man.
Okay. So many spike walls.
They're so tempting. Like, I just want to eat all of them. Like, nom nom, the little Doritos.
What flavor Dorito do you think they are?
Cool
Yeah,
Ranch, obviously the
definitely
most
Cool
superior
Ranch.
Doritos flavor.
Oh,
Dang, no
Oh,
love
do not
for
tell me
sweet
we're gonna
chili
have a fight on
heat.
stream.
Oh my god, I'm not a fan of Cool Ranch. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sweet chili heat. all
Sweet
the
chili,
way.
thank you.
I'm
Thank
not a
you.
fan of zesty flavored, which are only available in Canada.
Okay. Honestly, were those the ones that you brought
Yes,
to Flame this
yes.
year? Yeah, those are good. Those are good. Still don't beat Cool Ranch though. Sorry. I'm a diehard ranch person, so can't help it.
Lana, thank you for having the right opinion in this conversation.
And he's got my back, baby. Let's go.
Just gonna name drop all our friends to win the argument.
Honestly, on God, I did make a big divide my freshman year of high school because I started a simple thing for my statistics class where I was like, hey, what's your favorite Doritos flavor? Is it nacho cheese or Cool Ranch? And that stuff was the talk of the high school for like 2 weeks. It was insane how like much people fought over it. It was pretty wild. So I do like being divisive.
It's funny how this came up because literally, like, at my work, there's like a little whiteboard for polls, and the question of one of the days I was there was Doritos, and one of my coworkers went around the entire venue, like trying to find everybody and track them down and get their opinion.
Oh,
It was like the top priority.
so true. Another chaser level. I like games that like are platform chasers. I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah.
They're my favorite gimmick of platformers, is chase sequences. Except for in Mega Man X6, I want to not do that. No, thank you. But, I think I'm good, but chase sequences are pretty cool, especially in this game with the way that like the music picks up very heavily whenever you're chased. Oh, so good.
This level here is technically the finale level for the for the free content.
Ooh, that's fun.
Zoom in.
It goes very, very fast. Yeah, you're just like.
We are
So that was
moving through
the-
these levels.
Yeah, it goes by pretty fast. That was actually like the second music note. Like most people are like just watching and they don't even realize we're already at 2. We're
Yeah.
at 2 out of 3. So that's this level just goes very fast.
We'll wait a little bit there.
Nice.
That room is cool too, where they like all come at you from the left and right. Like,
Yeah.
oh, those are all so cool.
The bloom on everything is just like really pretty too. Just it's interesting how like simple this game is, but everything about it was just like so well thought out and is like so satisfying to just watch and listen to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm at level 4, and I think this level is pretty cool because you can take a different route depending on whatever feels right for you to play. So like there's technically, I don't believe there's a time difference between either of them. I believe they're the same amount of time. But you could take either one. So like you could watch 2 different people play this game and they will pick a different top or bottom route when it splits up here. So I think that's pretty cool. Not a lot of, honestly, I don't think a lot of games take advantage of like alternating paths and getting to go different routes very often. So that was pretty cool about this game.
Mm-hmm.
And this song goes hard, like they all do, but like this one just, it's tingly. It's a tingly good, like, like I don't know how to explain it. This one makes my brain tingle.
It like veered away from it, but like in the very beginning, it reminded me of like one of the tracks from like the Hotline Miami soundtrack.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Portals, baby.
Yep, now we're thinking with portals.
I love portals.
I love colors, and I love that we're getting more of them.
I will say something I like about the colors in this game is that they're not super intrusive, and also for like, I think for most people, at least for me and my colorblindness, I can tell the difference between the 2 portals too, so I would never get them confused. So I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
More chase sequences, baby. I love my heart rate increasing in the morning.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, this is the true strat to not needing coffee in the morning is you just play a few levels of Neon Beats and you get your heart rate up from the chase sequences.
Yeah.
And you're good.
So if anybody is fans of V6 and are fans of crime, you're definitely gonna like this one because welcome to the gravity switcher, baby.
Let's go.
I thought when I saw this, I literally popped off. I was like, there ain't no way. This is perfect.
Yeah, so I actually had this game recommended to me from someone from my community because they were like, hey, you like V6? How about this game? It looks like it.
Yeah, that's wild. That's absolutely wild, yeah.
And they weren't wrong, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think
it's almost like you have a little bit of a type, Creme.
Yeah, a little bit.
Huh. I don't think I would have ever known about this game if like you never played it because honestly, like I like rhythm games, I like platformers, but I've not really played a lot of like rhythm platformers, and I think this game's just like so cool. Like, come on, man, that's so good. I can't help it. Vibing.
And also like the accessibility of it, like the fact that like some of it's free. The paid DLC is like pretty achievable for people, which made it a really great contender for Game of the Month.
Yeah, that's true too. Because like, even if you couldn't commit to the full game, you could still like participate to some degree. You could do the first couple levels with other people, which I thought was really good suggestion for a Game of the Month. Because when we do Game of the Month, a lot of thought that goes into it is like how accessible is it to people in the community, whether it is a free game, has a free version, or is extremely cheap, but currently on sale, anything like that. So games that have those kind of like qualities to them are usually really good suggestions for us, and especially since like now we do Game of the Month where it's like bi-monthly, where you get 2 months to do Game of the Month. It's also really just nice to be able to like take your time to play a game, or like buy it when, if you have to buy a game, you can buy it whenever you're able to. You don't feel content like squished by miss 2 weeks of the game because you had to wait for a paycheck or something. So
yeah, switching to the bi-monthly schedule is such a good idea. A lot of people take like the first month just so like, especially if it's like a bigger game, going through it casually and like taking your time with it, and then like the second month is like where you really like dive into routing and everything like that.
Yeah, getting to do runs with people, hanging out in VCs and stuff
like
that. And
that's so fun.
Good system. Yeah,
love being able to watch people grow, and like the more and more PBs that get achieved like throughout the end of the run for like a certain game. Shout out to Fatales.
Yeah, shout out to the Fatales.
Let's go, Fatales.
Let's go, women.
Let's go.
Big fan of this, but I will say, like, I noticed, like, I think one of the first things I noticed about this game was like the little like beats of the music around the cube you control. I think it's really cool. It's a really nice subtle thing to add to.
Yeah, like the little equalizer. It's really great. Love it.
Yeah. I couldn't remember the word equalizer, so thank you.
Yeah.
I'm bad with words.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah. Ooh, that drops so
Such a good drop.
So satisfying. So satisfying.
This whole level is so good. Like, oh my god.
It's a lot. It's a lot faster than a lot of the other levels too, which makes it really, really satisfying. Because you have all those zoom pads everywhere, and you do a lot more gravity flipping and portal jumping than you do in other levels. Like, this is where it really picks up.
More portals.
And that momentum.
Oh, so
Ooh,
good.
love that.
Yeah, just hidden up there, so you couldn't see it unless you actually went through the portals twice to be able to get the momentum to get up there, which is cool. Oh, do that again. Whoop. Oh, those little tiny spikes on the end are like my worst nemesis.
It's like eating the crumbs out of the bag of Doritos. It's so tempting.
When you're like not prepared for them and then they like spill all over the table.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah.
Video game equivalent.
Oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Love this section.
I think aside from that first like silent drop into the beat where you drop down to get the music note there, like I think this is probably my second favorite level, just because like it just picks up intensity and it goes a lot faster and it flows really smoothly. If you don't have to pick up the music note, the whole thing in one fluid motion looks really, really cool. But this level is going to introduce those growing blue spikes that you just saw us pass by. So they obviously go by the beat there. So if you're a little offbeat, you kind of have to wait for them to ungrow.
There we go.
But I think they're really, really cool. A nice little difficulty expansion, if you will, a little DLC.
Now we have these. I really love this blue, but the growing spikes now.
There.
I can't tell what blue they are, but I'll believe you.
Believe me.
Are they like? I just describe it to me, you know. What would you call it on a color palette? Like, would it be like? Is it like a sky blue? Is it like a periwinkle? Is it like an indigo blue? Like,
I would say like
Electric?
maybe a little bit
Like
richer
neon?
than like a maybe like a oh my gosh, now I feel like I'm gaslighting myself into what colors are.
my bad.
Maybe like a more muted like ocean blue, like it's like a mid-toned,
okay.
like it's not.
Okay, that would be nice.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say electric. I feel like maybe it's like if you took electric blue and then you took some of the vibrancy out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that does sound nice. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
You're now my seeing color spouse. Thank you.
I got you. My favorite color is a very specific shade of blue, so that's probably why.
Ooh.
My favorite color is red, so I'm very basic. I don't care what kind of red it is. It's just as long as it's red.
Red's good.
Red is good. Red's
Huge
very
fan
good.
of red.
I don't think there's a wrong answer to what your favorite color is.
Yeah, there isn't really I don't think a wrong answer, but.
Okay. So,
Actually schmooved through that.
Yeah, I know, right? We're on the final level coming up here. So I'm gonna focus for these first 30 seconds because there's no checkpoint.
Vibe time.
Vibe time.
Ooh, that's chompy.
That's Rin coming for the Doritos, actually.
That's wild, yeah.
Okay. We're good there.
Very nice.
We're good now. First try, baby. First try. Let's go.
There's a lot of complex sections here. Oh, okay. Well, that was a skill issue. Whoops.
I can't believe you missed that. I was surprised. I was like, oh, that'll make it. Nope. Okay, I guess. Cool. Thanks, game.
That part's also very difficult. Ooh, okay.
Wow. I was gonna say, I think the phrase Viren coming for the Doritos is going to just echo through my head for the rest of the night.
If you've ever met me in person, you know what I look like and you know my demeanor, you could absolutely imagine my feral butt coming after the Doritos, baby.
Okay.
I do like the subtle way that they put the music notes in this level where you have to either go out of your way to get them or you have to build up some speed to get up to the platform for them. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love how it's combining all the different mechanics from the previous levels. It's really good.
Yeah,
so we have one more music note to get.
Yeah, it's going to be down the hole when you're being chased at the next sequence, I believe. I already said what my favorite Doritos flavor was. Cool Ranch.
Yeah. Started a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a discussion later, but it's all right. What is a marriage without a little bit of, disagreeing, compromising,
Disagreeing.
We're literally gonna be at the grocery store tomorrow, both like holding our own bags of Doritos in our arms, being like, "We get this one. No, we get this one. No, we get this one."
You can only get one. They're very high stakes. You can only get one.
You think I can't afford 2 bags of Doritos? Hold on. What do you think I work for? Hold on.
We could get both.
We could get both.
We could get both.
Our chip size is actually pretty low. We could get both. We could get both.
This is the part of the commentary where we create a grocery list. We've completely left Neon Beats.
Yeah, sorry about that. Back to the game. Anyway, this section.
This part is
so good.
And we're about to come up on time right now.
Hey, GG's.
Hey. GG's
Thank
Crime.
you. Oh my goodness. That was Neon Beats. I hope that inspired you to play it wherever you are in the world in chat on twitch.tv.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. Again, the first 3 levels are free, and obviously, and the tutorial are free. So, like, if you liked any of this and you're interested in playing it, you can literally just Google it. Google Neon Beats, find it, pick it up, play it. It's very fun.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, I've been Metroid Crime. Thank you all so much for watching that run. That was so great. Thanks, Lana, for having me on. You can find me at twitch.tv/MetroidCrime. I speedrun a bunch of different games of all different types. Mostly Sonic games more recently. I'm on backup for Awesome Games Done Quick 2025 with Sonic Mania. Yay. So we'll see. Hopefully, maybe I get both in backup. That would be great to be able to show that off. But otherwise, shoutouts to the Fatales community. Lots of love. Shoutouts to Lady Arcaders. Shoutouts to my own community. And commentators, do you have any shoutouts to go through?
To go through?
to say?
Time to get on the platform.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I don't stream, but if I were to stream, it would be at Last Lotus. Otherwise, I'm very happy just being in these communities and hanging out with all of you. I'll also shout out Fatales and Lady Arcaders because they are both A1 communities to hang out in. And then I'm going to give a shout out to Rin. I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, literally, I will see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I don't stream. Don't follow me anywhere. Don't follow me on social media, but definitely follow Crime. If you are interested in joining the Fatalis community, I'm sure that there is a link or some blurb that Lana's going to say at some point. But if you are interested in joining us, please join us. We're a really great community. We love doing these games together. And like, even if Game of the Months have passed, if you liked any of these games in these showcases or any of our previous Game of the Month showcases, definitely basically, you can play them at any time. All the resources, all the information is pinned in a spreadsheet inside of the Fatals Discord. So if you're interested in playing this game, even though, yes, it is not currently the game of the month, those resources are still there available for you. So definitely come join us whenever. We do lots of fun things there. We hang out there all the time. So again, shout out to the Fatals. Shout out to Lady Arcader. Shout out to Crime for having me. And yeah, again, Blasso, I will absolutely see you in the morning.
I hope so. You're picking me up at the airport.
Yeah,
So
I know.
please.
I know you stranded. I promise. I won't do that. I'm a good friend and a good spouse.
That's good to hear.
Amazing.
Thank you both.
Well,
Absolutely.
yes, big thanks to Metroid Crime again for showing off that incredible Neon Beats run. And thanks to our commentators for taking us on a journey through Doritos. As we get ready for our next and final run of the evening, which will be a Tunic any percent run with my lovely friend Carrarium. Just a quick announcement that I am going to spin to say, as Varan mentioned, if you want to learn more about Frame Fatales as well, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/Frame Fatales to learn more. For example, if you're interested in joining our Discord, you can DM the Frame Fatales account on Twitter, potentially even on Blue Sky now that we're there. And there's more information on the Games Done Quick website, as always, if you want to learn more. Also, while you're there, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out our Season 3 schedule and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs and potentially more fun episodes and shows and whatnot coming our way soon. So keep an eye on that website and you can learn more. Again, we're going to take a quick break as we get ready for our final run of our Frame Fatales Game of the Month celebration. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our very special Frame Fatales Game of the Month celebration event that we have been putting on all evening so far for you. It's been great. We have done 3 runs already that were featured as Games of the Month in the Frame Fatales community, and we still have 1 left, and I am very excited for this one. Now, if you're curious about what the Game of the Month is, you can learn more by joining the Frame Fatales Discord. If you are a woman or a femme, then please join us. Even if you're not a speedrunner, hey, if you like games, come join us. It's great over there. So every couple of months, we choose a new game that becomes sort of a community game that a lot of people in the community can pick up, play casually, learn runs for, submit to the leaderboard, all that fun stuff. And today we are celebrating all of those. Now, we have done Plants vs. Zombies, which is our current game of the month. We have done Skator Gator 3D, which was one of our first games of the month of 2024. And we have done Neon Beats, which was right in that summer block. And now I am very, very excited to bring us into our final run. But one quick announcement before then, I'll leave you on a cliffhanger. The AGDQ 2025 schedule is now out. The first round of the schedule dropped today. So make sure to go to gamesdonequick.com/schedule and you can check it out and let us know what you are most looking forward to. There are so many great games on the schedule and I want to hear all about your thoughts. Now, again, I won't leave you on a cliffhanger any longer. I am excited to introduce our final run of the evening, bringing us a wonderful Tunic any percent run. Here is my dear friend, Carrie Carrarium. Carrie, how you doing?
I am good, Lana. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here. Hi, everybody. I am Carrie Carrarium. You might know me as a fellow Fatale and one of the many leaders of the GDQ social media meme team. I am here to speedrun not my usual speed game, which is Celeste, but Tunic, lovely little Fox game, lovely little Zelda-like isometric game. We're going to be running any percent unrestricted, which means there's going to be a lot of tricks where anything goes, and it's a really difficult run. It is a very, very difficult run. So I have with me a good friend and fellow Tunic appreciator on commentary. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name's Olivia. I'm a big Tunic fan, very large Tunic fan. And a big fan of Carrie as well, and I'm really excited to be helping her showcase this run today.
I appreciate you being here. All right, so, it's morning time over in my part, so I'm not going to waste any more time. However, at the very start of the run, I'm going to be doing a lot of mashing on my keyboard, so I will probably not be talking for a little bit, so Olivia will take care of that. But we are going to start Tunic any percent unrestricted in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so the very first thing we're going to be doing here in this run Carrie is going to be entering a very complicated code that will cause our fox here to hug a plushie. This code was released as it was hidden in the official Tunic plushie merch, and that will cancel the animation for starting the game here. She also entered a code to give herself a firecracker there. We will be using that later.
Yes. So for the sake of theatrics, that actually basically only broke even with actual speedrun strats, but it was worth it for the Fox plushie.
Yep, so we grabbed our stick there. We're going to be going over and grabbing a couple other items through this door over here. And then we're going to be seeing a trick called ladder storage very shortly. And that is going to work by interacting with a ladder and swinging the stick on the same frame. And then rolling, and that will sort of cancel the ladder animation and bug out in a way such that we can do what you're about to see.
Here we go. Hey, look at that.
Ooh.
And yeah, so we can basically go wherever we want now.
Yeah.
Ladder storage, we will just float. This will be canceled by sort of two different things. Either we get hit by an enemy or we exit the room. But if you exit the room, you have to quit to the title screen and go back in, because otherwise the fox will climb a ladder forever.
Yes, it is a very, very funny thing to watch the fox just perpetually try to climb a ladder that does not exist. And while it's a very fun, funny visual, it does absolutely nothing for the run. So we're about to... Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yep, go for it.
I was going to say, so over here we have a ladder, another ladder. Ladder is going to be important in this run, don't you know? And we have it set up here so that I can do one other ladder storage and float all the way over here so that I can enter this maw and go directly into the frog's domain, where we're going to be picking up like the very first like vital item, which is the orb.
Yep, so the magic orb, like a grappling hook, it is used for a few different things. Just fast movement in general, and then also a few different tricks in this run.
And while I was going down that ladder, I was implementing a code to give myself a free firebomb. That firebomb is going to be used for a death warp very soon. And since you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to implement those codes, I use it while going down the ladder because it basically loses me absolutely no time to do it there. Oops.
Yep. So one of the things Harry has grabbed from those chests is a card that will give us a fire sword, but more importantly, it will make us die in one hit, which will be useful for a death warp right here.
If they want to come and get me. They are fighting each other and not me. There we go.
They do that sometimes.
There was a mutiny going on. All right, so this is a very long and unskippable cutscene, but your items still work here. So that firebomb, I throw it there and kill the fox, and I can exit the very long and quote-unquote unskippable cutscene.
We love that.
So going to be another ladder storage here, and we are going to be heading over toward the West Gardens because we need a very important item.
Yes, it is a vital item, potentially the most vital item in the entire game. It is called the Ice Dagger. It will be used in conjunction with another item to basically break everything in this game. So it is very, 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 very important. It takes a really long way to get here. So that ladder storage basically makes it trivial to get over to this area.
And we have a sword now, by the way. We did not get the sword from the intended spot you would get it at casually. We got it from this extra chest that's put in there for speedrunners.
Welcome in somebody new to the party. This is Terry. Everybody say hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Terry's going to try to bite me. He's very rude.
Terry is also everyone's favorite member of this run here. Nobody hates Terry at all.
Nobody hates Terry. He's going to keep trying to bite me. While I was in the water, I implemented the code for the ice bomb. That's going to be used in about like 15 minutes or so, but it was important for me to have it now because going through the water, I go through that water at that speed no matter what. So again, it loses me no time really to just implement it there. And we have our ice dagger right here.
Now, I don't think we ever use the ice dagger by itself in this run.
Not on purpose.
But it's going to be used in combination with another item we will be getting fairly shortly here to do some very powerful things.
Yes, if you see me use the ice dagger on its own, I have made a mistake.
So next we are going to be grabbing this item from this chest here. This is an effigy. This will be used for a couple of different skips later on in the run. And then we are going to be heading toward the Dark Tomb.
The Dark Tomb, my favorite part of the run. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Go that way. Thank you.
Okay, that works.
None of that was supposed to happen.
So the Dark Tomb, it's dark, as you're about to see in a second. Carrie's going to be entering a special code here called a speedrunner code that does a couple things, but one thing it does is it makes you sparkle. So it'll allow us to see a little bit better in here. Not really, but she can see where she is at least.
We have an idea of where we are. And during this, I also implemented another use of a ladder storage. I'm going to go up to this chest and open it to get this card called the Orange Peril Ring. The Orange Peril Ring gives me a bonus to gives me a little bit of a damage bonus to enemies if my health is low. And that's going to be very useful for a couple of boss fights where I'm going to be at least 1 HP in some occasions.
And then she also just grabbed a fire wand. That is the other item we alluded to earlier. You can use the fire wand and ice dagger together. If you hit the buttons at the same time, it will shoot an ice ball, and that can be used to freeze enemies. And we will be using that in a number of different ways. Some of them intended, some of them not intended.
I love the way that we say that. Some of them intended, some of them not intended.
We will be doing some funny things with that combination.
We will. I'm going to stay at this fuse because I got a little bit of damage, but also wasted mana by grappling some people. So I'm going to be not like horrendously low, but I'm going to be lower than I want to be here on mana. But it should be fine.
Yeah, so the first usage of the ice wand we're going to see here is if you freeze an enemy, you can then grapple to it instead of pulling it to you. And that is going to be used to do a little bit of a skip here, to skip a very large portion of the quarry here.
Okay, I'm only 2 mana short, which should be fine. Just have to, after another skip, just be wary of what I'm using.
Okay, we pull that enemy, freeze it, pull it again, and we fall all the way down here. And that has skipped basically the entire outside quarry section. We just have to run into the ziggurat here, and we will be on our way to the first boss fight of the run.
I love the color purple. It's a good color.
Carrie, this has actually come up multiple times today where people have been talking about how much they love purple, and I am thrilled that this pattern is continuing.
Happy to help. So when I entered this area, I did a quit to title screen to put my health bar back at normal because the quarry... Yay. The quarry dropped my health bar to basically just 1. So by quitting to title screen, I brought my health bar back to what it should be at, including a little bit of the damage that I got, which was not intended, but that's okay. We will survive.
Yep, and Carrie just did a bit of a skip there. To skip the elevator animation using that effigy we picked up earlier. You can use the effigy, it lifts you up a little bit, and then do a couple wand shots, and that will cause you to go over an invisible wall that allows you to fall down.
I think I'm okay. If this fairy hits me, I should be good. I just cannot get hit again. If I do, I lose a lot of time.
Yep, so we're going to be seeing a ladder storage here, and Carrie is going to be trying to get knocked out of ladder storage in a fairly specific spot here to fall down here and skip to here.
Okay.
And we are going to be doing a very large skip coming up here after we grab this chest.
This is.
If you
Go ahead.
So if you enter this room on the same frame that you used the effigy, and this is 120 frames per second, so it's a very small frame window, then it will do a wrong warp. And we will be seeing that hopefully shortly here. And there it is. That was very quick. It was
Sweet.
only a couple tries.
Yeah, it was only a few tries. So you can use a couple of ice one-shots to drop you down this ladder, but because I was low on mana at the very start, I didn't want to use any more shots than I needed because I have this boss fight coming up here, and I have to do a bit of a precise shot from a certain location, so I don't want to be wasting any vital mana here, or this entire section through the Zig is going to be for nothing. Because I have not saved while I was in here. So if I death warp back like a very far ways away.
Yep, and then we are going to be not quite fighting this boss normally.
Come on. Okay, this should be just enough.
So we've activated the boss from outside the arena, and that allows us to do this.
Let's go!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I had no mana left.
Gotta get a little bit close there, but we're gonna now use that bomb to death warp, and we will be heading toward our second boss. Sort of the goal of the main part of this run is to get these 3 different hexagon keys by killing 3 different bosses.
So in this area for the atoll to activate, we have to activate these 4 fuses to get to the Great Library, which houses the second boss, the Librarian. We're going to be using a lot of the ladder storage and the ice rod shots to basically do a bunch of that. All right, so I'm going to hold my control in a very uncomfortable position for this strat right here. See if this works. Perfect. Basically, while holding my run button, which is X, I had to press circle and then buffer triangle so that I could do a... Oop, that did not work. Okay, we're good. So I could swing my sword and then buffer a rod shot. And that allowed me to get bounce back from my wand shot off of the fuse and knock me out of ladder storage.
Yeah, it is very non-trivial to get out of ladder storage if you do not have an enemy to knock you out of it.
Yes.
So, gotta finagle something there.
We make do.
So we're gonna activate this 3rd monolith here, and then there will be 1 more ladder storage.
Oop, I didn't even get it. There we go.
And just go straight over to the last one.
There's going to be some fairies that want to attack me. There we go. Great thing is, while I'm praying, I can still shoot them. And then once this glows, I can quit to title screen. Now, during the boss fight that's coming up, there is a trick that is very... it's not hard at 120 frames per second, but I only get 1 chance to do it. So if I don't have like a backup plan, the run is literally dead. So this is me just preparing myself for a backup in case anything goes wrong.
Yep, there is a sort of a common theme in this run of we don't exactly want to fight bosses as intended.
No. No, we do not. So this is the Great Library. You will see it is pretty great. It's pretty big, although it's kind of messy.
It's been a little bit of disrepair, I think, since the events of the lore. because the librarian, instead of cleaning up, he's just been hanging out on the roof.
He's just on the roof.
Not quite sure why, but that's just where he likes to be, I guess.
Why is he there? All right, so a couple of things that I can do. The great thing about Tunic is that there's opportunities to do a lot of inputs with keyboard while also holding controller. And this is one of those tricks. Hopefully I can get this because it's really cool.
So what we have just done is we have activated the boss fight while being below the kill plane, so that the librarian will just walk down into the kill plane and die immediately. And that is the librarian fight.
That is the librarian fight.
What?
Yep. We don't need to actually do the fight.
And another death warp there. And we are now going to be using our fast travel pad here and heading over to the third boss.
The Siege Engine, which is thankfully one that is infinitely retriable. We have, outside of the final boss, the air, which is still the sweatiest fight that you can possibly do in this game. The Siege Engine is one that, like, there's not a trick that essentially bottlenecks the run at all. So, if
we're not.
If I die or if something goes bad or whatever, I can just try again. And for this particular situation, it just means that the run goes a little bit longer. But if it was like a speedrun I was trying to PB, the run would be dead.
Yeah, we're not going to be fighting this boss quite as intended, but it's not quite as broken as the previous two we've seen. There's a little bit of a trick here. So first what she's going to do is she's going to take a bunch of damage here so we can death warp more easily later. Then we're going to be using the ice wand to clip through this door so we don't have to hit all the pillars.
Yep, there's a guy blocking the door, but he doesn't do a very good job at it. Oh, I also need the orange peril ring for this.
Yep, so that orange peril ring will give us a damage up here since we're at low health. And what Carrie's going to be doing is she's going to try and sort of get herself stuck under the siege engine here in a specific way, such that she can repeatedly stagger it. And that looks good, and we are just going to beat it to death now, hit its weak point.
Done.
And that is it.
That's that boss sound. This boss was incredible during my casual playthrough, and it is a little bit sad that it's so easily cheesable, but like, I'm also in a certain way glad that it is that cheesable. Just to make sure that I can actually die on this death warp, I'm going to set the fire sword here. It looks like I'm at 1 HP, but it never be too safe.
So we're going to be getting our final hexagon here. Quit the title screen because this animation is extremely long. And this is actually faster, even though you have to run all the way back to it. And then we are going to death warp and head to the final boss.
Yeah, we're already at the final boss.
So the final boss here is going to be quite tricky. Carrie is going to be trying to get it into sort of a stagger loop using the ice wand and sword slashes, but she's going to need to use some berries as well to regen on mana because it's going to take a lot of mana. But first we're going to clip through the store. And we are going to put our hexagons in the hexagon slot so that we can get to the final boss.
And another great thing about the ice rod is that it breaks the animation, so the key will still go in, but I can walk away from it and then enter another key. All right. Sick. All right,
and then just one last death warp.
And the orange peril ring is in.
It is air time.
All right. Final boss time. This run has gone unreasonably well.
Don't say that.
I know. Why did I say
Carrie.
that? I know. I'm sorry.
So we're going to be sneaking around these guys and just going to be able to pray right behind him without him noticing, because he's not very smart.
Oop. All right. You only get one chance at this boss.
So we freeze her, we hit her twice, we freeze her, we hit her twice. And we're going to keep doing that until we are close to out of mana, and then going to have to eat a berry to stock back up. That's what we got the berries for at the very beginning of the run. With some very fast menuing there, because otherwise the air will unfreeze and you will be in trouble. And a little bit of health left here. And it is not over because there is a phase 2, of course.
Of course.
But it is going to be more of the same. Fast berry. And hopefully just a few more hits.
Time.
And there is time. That was an incredible run. Wow, 2011.
Oh my gosh.
That might genuinely be a PB.
I mean, that was pretty close to flawless, to be honest. Wow. Great job.
That might genuinely be a PB. On the leaderboards, my PB is a 21:22. But I did have a 20:33 that I never submitted, and I don't have any recollection of lower times than that. So for all I know, I just PB'd.
Woo! Get it.
Oh my God. This run stresses me out so much. I'm so glad that everything worked.
That was an incredible run. Everything just went smoothly.
Thank you. Unfortunately, the bad part about any percent is that it gives you the bad ending. So we are now going into jail. If you want to know what the good ending is, though, you need to play Tunic.
Honestly, you need to play Tunic no matter what.
Yeah,
because it's just a fantastic game.
It's just a fantastic game. But yeah, that is, oh my gosh, I still can't believe that I got that run. So that's Tunic any percent unrestricted. The Tunic leaderboards have most categories separated with unrestricted, restricted, and no major glitches. And there's different ways that you can do each of those particular categories. So Tunic has a vast amount of ways to play it. So if this particular run stressed you out like it does me, you don't have to play it like this. There are other ways that you can play each and every category in the leaderboards. And I highly, highly, highly recommend joining the Tunic speedrunning Discord. Everyone there is so passionate about the game and loves this game so much and would love to see new runners in it. This was my favorite game of 2022, and I loved learning the speedrun. And every time, as much as I've told Lana that I'm like, remind me never to run this game again, every time I start running it, I'm like, I fall in love with it all over again. So, so yeah, but in addition to everything else, if you've enjoyed this event, please join the Frame Fatales Discord if you're a woman or a femme in any way that's meaningful for you. Frame Fatales changed my life. I would not be the person that I am. I would not be the streamer that I am. I would not have a job on GDQ if it were not for the opportunities that Frame Fatales provided me to broadcast my skills and meet other people in my communities. And I genuinely can never thank this organization enough for that. They genuinely mean so much to me, and you should support them every step of the way. And again, if you're a woman or femme, join that Discord. Hit us up on social media for an invite, and we got you. But yeah, that's it for me. I am Carrie Carrarium. You can find me at twitch.tv/Carrarium, or you can sometimes find me on YouTube at Carrarium, where I post a lot of PBs and stuff with the games that I play. I stream full time, just like Kara, so means a lot. But I will always see you around in the GDQ space. Olivia, would you like to plug yourself?
Yeah, I can do a little plug. I stream it very, very rarely, but I do occasionally stream at twitch.tv/OliviaPG1. You can also find me just sort of around various speedrunning discords. I'm in the Slush community a lot, a few other speedrunning communities. But yeah, I love to just hang out and talk to people.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much to you both for spending time with us with that incredible Tunic run. Carrie, you are wonderful. And that was
wonderful.
Such a good run. Excuse me. That was so much fun. And I hope everyone here who is hanging out with us for our Frame Fatale's Game of the Month celebration, hope y'all had a great time. We have worked through 4 games of the month that have taken place in 2024. Again, as mentioned, we had our Plants vs. Zombies run with Satan herself. Make sure to follow her at Satan Isn't Herself on Twitch. That is our current game of the month, and if you want to check out the Discord and learn more about it, and maybe had a run on the board, then you'll absolutely want to do that. We also had a wonderful Skator Gator 3D any percent run from Oh Hey It's Kara. Make sure to follow her as well. And we had Neon Beats with Metroid Crime, also Metroid Crime on Twitch, so make sure to follow her. And of course, our lovely friend Carrie here. So make sure to check out all of those runners. Give them a follow and keep an eye on what Frame Fatales has coming up next, because there are sure to be more announcements very soon about Frost Fatales, which will be taking place in March. I kind of hinted at those game submissions and volunteer submissions coming up. So again, if you are a woman or a femme who is interested in speedrunning, gaming, charity events, that is the place for you. As Carrie mentioned, you can send a message to one of our social media accounts. Check out the website, gamesdonequick.com/framefatales to learn more. And you can join our community as well. We'd be very excited to have you. Now, as we wrap up for today, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful celebration that we've been enjoying all evening. It's been so great to have all of you here. And I, Lana Roos, have been very excited to be your host for this wonderful evening. As we wrap up, I just want to remind everybody that Passion Project will return in 2 weeks at its normal time, 10 p.m. Eastern on November 22nd. I don't know about you, but I am so excited to see Amber back where they belong in that Passion Project seat. Also, if you missed out on As Seen on TV or our Frame Fatale's Game of the Month celebration, stay tuned as we will be replaying both shows after this. And make sure to tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for a Super Mario Odyssey and a Super Meat Boy speedrun special. We'll catch you then. Again, thanks for hanging out with all of us tonight. It's been a joy. My name is Lana Roos, and I'm signing off of GDQ Hotfix for tonight. See you later.